Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm your charming self-proclaimed yet still humble host, Mukluk, and today we are back for Guild Wars Tuesday, once again returning to the wonderful world of Guild Wars 2, which is Tyria, by the way. Did you know that? Hello there. What is the big patch today? As some of you may have noticed, the stream title says Patch Waiting Room. Today, and I'll link this in the chat right now, the expected patch with a whole lot of balancing. Stuff related to combat and classes and stuff like that. They announced this some time ago, and a lot of these changes are due today, unless they change their mind on some of them. But we should get another set of patch notes coming soon, TM, and that might tweak these. But these are the last notes that we got. Who is Patch and why are we waiting for them? Why is Patch? But yeah, that's it. NG PvP puffs. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff. There's look. These are the LE changes. Look at that. I need more monitors to hold the LE changes. Let's see. What was the Ranger once again? Do I even care? Let me see. Hang on a sec. Okay, Soul Beast. Let's see. Throat. Oh, that's right. Throat. Torch. Torch is getting buffs for the first time in like 10 years. Let's see, Quick Draw now grants quickness in addition to previous effects. I don't know how much. It doesn't say how much quickness. Like 3 seconds. Light on your feet now triggers with any range skill it evades. Unstoppable Union. Gain protection when entering or leaving beast mode. God, this used to be a stun break. It has fallen so far. Cleansing Unleash now displays on the bar when it's on a cooldown. Restorative Strength, tradesman reworked, is now called Biorhythm. Oh, that's right, the Biorhythm thing. Biorhythm is just going to depend on its uptime. And that's it. Yeah, Ranger's not getting a lot on this one. But a few things that will be worth testing once they're out. Muck, is the new Heal Scourge better or worse? It's different. Okay, hold on a second. Let me do this. Okay, hold on. Old heal. Oh, hold on a sec. Move the cursor. Okay. Old heal Scourge. Okay. Godlike revives. Good barriers. Not great healing. Not great buffs. New heal Scourge. Alright. Great healing. Great buffs. Good barriers, and godlike revives are now good revives. So, revive potential has gone down, but still better than most supports. And they now more easily fit into groups because they're a great healer and great buffer and also good shielder. Muck, any patch notes yet? Yes, 5 lines above your question. Updated patch notes. Not that I know of. No, not that I know of. Let's see. Hang on a sec. I'm gonna do a change here. Expected patch notes. We're gonna update the pin. Hang on a second. Because this is going to be a question we're gonna get once or twice. Okay, there we go. Which healer class is top tier godlike in Guild Wars 2? Depends on the game mode. So, if you're talking about World v World, the answer could be different than in Conquest, which could be different than in Raiding, which could be different than in Fractals, which you get the idea. There are many that are good, though. I will say, like, historically, like, over the 10 years of the game, which one has been godlike the most, period of time? The answer would be Firebrand. Right now, Firebrand is great, but there are others that are great, too. So we got, you got multiple options right now. My Blish HUD is not on. Hang on just a second. I'm gonna go wake Blish up. Give me a minute. Okay, Blish says hi. Alright. He should be waking up now. What is Rise Guardian again? Often is. I want to see how much stronger my Warhammer 40k flamer has gotten with a flamethrower buff. Yeah, I was playing Riftbreaker last night with a flamethrower, and it was doing great. It was doing great. Oh man, last night, speaking of Warhammer 40k, I was playing Darktide with Boy. The Arbites came out yesterday. For those of you who don't play it, is a new class came out, and it's got like a cyborg hound. It's so much fun. And of course it's everywhere, because, you know, it's a new class added to the game, so everybody's trying it. So whenever you queue for a group, almost everyone is playing Arbites. But there's a lot of robo-dogs running around right now. Bop, 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 bop. Patch a win? Usually their patch time is an hour and 45 minutes from now. If they decide to keep that. Rogue Trader DLC today also has a robot doggo. Nice. I wonder if it works the same functionally. The way that they did it in Darktide is they made the dog invulnerable. And what it does is like it'll tackle someone. Like anything that's humanoid size, it can tackle them, and it starts like "Arr!" and like, you know, mauling them, and then you can either just hit them while they're down or just let the dog finish them off and you move on to a new target. So it's just like once it pins something down, it's just that thing will die in time if you leave it alone. But if it's a big target, the dog kind of just like jumps on its back and starts like doing damage. But the dog's invulnerable. So I'm wondering if in Rogue Trader they make the dog invuln or if it's going to have its own hit point bar. In Darktide they opted to just make it an invulnerable thing that just like runs around. I discovered something beautiful and amazing Guild Wars 2 today. It was called Shoko. Oh my gosh. The one change I did to my house was a ramp that goes up to the loft because the stairs are inconvenient. Eh? Your house? Wait, what? Are you talking about like a homestead or real life right now? Just randomly fit into the conversation. That and the freaking bomb kit reworked looked nuts. Who thought having 3 bombs that do CC was a good idea? Thank you, kind sir. The bomb kit rework? Hold on, do I still have those patch notes open? Yes, I do. Let's see, where's engineer? Here we go. Smoke bomb, big old bomb. Flamers, explosion. Oh, that's right, flamethrower kit's getting changed quite a bit today, too. Fumigate will now partially affect the wielder. That's good. Rest in peace, Juggernaut. No longer pulsing stability. Hey, Muck, hi, chat. Hi, Tabby. Homestead, where you were harvesting the leather and fabric in the shed. Gotcha. Okay. I understand now.
Errol raided my stream with 23 viewers.
Errol, thank you. Appreciate the raid, Errol. Welcome. Thank you very much. We're just kind of getting started right now. Patch day today in Guild Wars 2. Just farming the home instances and chatting at the moment. Let's see. Julio says, speaking of Expedition 33, I mean, well, we weren't, but okay. Did you watch the Josh Hayes take on it? I haven't had the time yet. I love Josh's videos. I just haven't gotten to that one because that one was, I believe it was 3 hours, 33 minutes, and 33 seconds. Which is funny that he went that far, but that's a big time investment. And I have not seen it yet. Are you excited for the new CM or the new balance patch? More for the balance patch on my end. Let's see, did you try the Berserker build I sent? No, I have not. I haven't played Warrior again since you sent me that. Mug, by the way, do you know about the Amazon Affiliate Creator Program? Yes, I got kicked out of it. Anybody with a good amount of followers can sign up for extra side income. Yeah, they were really horrible to me. Let me hold on a sec. Let me see if I can remember this this story for you. This was really dumb. Okay, all right. So joined affiliate program. All right, Amazon. Got affiliate links. Got minor side income as people use them. Okay? Okay, great. When I set this up, I was inspired by another creator, Devin Nash, who had his Amazon links below his stream in the info area. All right. so I did that too. All right. I had Amazon links for USA and various EU ones, such as Germany. One day, I got an email from Germany Amazon saying I wasn't allowed to have the links there. I think I had text that said bookmark these for whenever you need them. I wasn't allowed to say bookmark these, and it broke their terms of service. So they were kicking me out until I fixed it. So I fixed it. I asked them if this was better, and they replied, if you fixed it, then sure. Like, they didn't even check. So I re-entered the program and got links again. Then they did an audit and saw I got kicked out of the program and then re-entered the program and banned me for life from Amazon Germany. Even though I asked and they said, yeah. All right. So I was like, okay, fine. I lost the Germany links. Okay. Months later, Amazon USA does an audit and saw that I had an Amazon affiliate link, but had been kicked out of another Amazon. And so they banned my links also. And then one by one, they all got deleted. So it was all just because like I copied the setup from this guy. And then they like, you broke a rule. And I'm like, I didn't know I broke a rule. I was like, is it fixed now? Can I turn it back on? And they're like, if you fixed it, then that's fine. And I'm like, okay, so I turn it back on. And then I got banned for life. And then one by one, they went around and they all banned me. And I opened multiple tickets with them, and I could not even like get a human being to talk to. Like, I get that their company is absolutely huge, but there's like no channel to actually speak with a person. It was all just like automated, like BS. Why are you typing everything? It helps me gather my thoughts, and some people find it easier to read than listen. That's it. Like, there was a lot of steps to that weirdness, so I was trying to remember the order of events. It happened a couple years ago. How many % of your viewers are German? I don't know the exact number. I do know that when I lost the Amazon DE, it's Deutsch, Amazon DE account, it was like a minor loss. Like, I was maybe getting $20 of, you know, minor side income from that per month. But then when I lost, like, all the others, that kind of sucked. Like, I was getting a bit of income from those each month, but it did absolutely suck losing that. Let's see. Yeah, so the German thing. So one thing I can do is if I go to the current stream, let me see if I can see it right now. Details. Okay. All right, this is for the stream happening right now on Twitch, and I have a similar screen on YouTube. I just have to dig for it. So this is the breakdown of you guys right now. So Germany is currently 10%. Big, larger number than I thought, honestly. There you go. So yeah, this is the breakdown right this second. Everyone's like, yo, I see my house. My joke guess of 9 was closer than expected. How many is 2%? 2% is 10 to 11 people right now. We've only been live for 27 minutes, so this is 27 minutes of data. This is this stream. And, like, views from channel, like, this is, like, you know, Errol rated me, so this is all the people from Errol's raid. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have, like, a long-term graph, but that's for right now. You're very popular in Germany. There's a statue of you. Oh, man. I should go over there and rouse my followers and march on Amazon offices. Let's see. YouTube is the stepchild chat. Yeah, YouTube is the stepchild chat. YouTube is the younger sibling. Because I've been streaming on Twitch for 7 years. I've been streaming on YouTube for like a month or something. A far less period of time. Now, YouTube, I know there is an analytics page similar to what I just showed for Twitch. However, it's buried and it's a lot harder to find. And so I don't, it would take me a lot longer to find it. But it's there somewhere. Let's see. What are you going to try after the patch? I mean, as a Ranger enjoyer, the first thing I'm going to do is look at the new Ranger traits. But there's not many of them. Ranger is not getting a lot this patch, so that won't take that long. After that, I'm not sure. Let's see. Light Energy Gobbler. This. Imperial Fragments. Boop, boop, boop. And get these. Okay. Alright. Necro staff changes I'm gonna try out? Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Kimler says, I'm not from Raid, I'm OG Twitch viewer like Bone Zone OG. Bone Zone, yeah, you've been here for a while. Let's see. Will you try Heal Vindy today, or when can chat backseat you on that? So, my top 3 played classes are Ranger, Engineer, and Necro. So, with those Necro staff changes... Sorry, hang on. Let me blow my nose. Give me just a sec. Okay. With the Necro staff changes, I'm far more interested in trying that out than, like, Vindy, which I know way less about Vindy. So, definitely any new support builds I'm interested in trying for at least, like, a stream. Necro would probably be first, though. If there's ever a new support build for Engineer, Necro, or Ranger, like, those are more interesting to me than the other 6 classes. And then I get to the others later on. Okay. Let's see. Monk, quick question. I want to buy my friend Hot and POF, but they play on client. So do I buy it off the official Guild Wars 2 store? Yeah. If you buy a game copy off the Guild Wars 2 standalone client website, after you purchase it, it gives you a key, and you can just, like, email it to your friend or copy-paste it to them or whatever. And then they will take the key and go to the ArenaNet website, log in with their account, and redeem the key. Now, it's different if they're using Steam Guild Wars 2 or Epic Guild Wars 2. Once again, the instructions I just gave you are for the standalone client. Hey all, just in case anyone needs Orax, the PSNA agent in Dry Top has the marinated mushrooms recipe. Still? I thought that was yesterday. Yeah, we can check it in a bit, thank you. Gamers at my final exam to become a computer scientist tomorrow, help. Good luck. Final exam for computer scientist. What exactly does a computer scientist do? Because I know, like, if you're a programmer, you have to do exams, like, for certifications, like, every couple years. Science on a computer? Come on, Mog. Okay, GLaDOS. When will the Taffy Gobbler be on the trading post? You mean like the Black Lion store? I don't know. I'm not sure. They usually do it with the Dragon Bash holiday. Yeah, I do not know. There was one previous year where they forgot to include, what was it? I think it's the infinite coin with the adventure box thing. So you would think they would set up a reminder because this would be the time to get sales. Do you have the Gobbler of Garbage title? No clue. I don't know. As an owner of a bachelor's in computer science, I currently do software QA. Interesting. Here in Germany, you can specialize in a certain direction in your apprenticeship. I'm doing system integration, which is kind of the hardware part to it, networking, etc. Interesting. Okay. He ain't answering about 30 more years. What? What are we not answering? Hold on, I'm opening the thread. Okay, the thread doesn't say either. They didn't reply to it. Let's see. Position rewinder, save location. According to the Guild Wars 2 timer, the food recipe is gone. Yeah, it was there yesterday. And we've had a daily reset since then. I'd kind of be surprised if it's there again today. Alright. Monk, the viewer's data is fake. Just notice I still have your BG3 stream window open. Okay. Oh man, did we have gotten so far in that. For those who haven't joined us for that, we played Baldur's Gate 3 back when it came out a year ago. And we're playing it again right now, but on honor mode, which is if the party wipes, it's game over. And we just beat the final boss of Act 2 last night, out of 3 acts. So my first attempt at honor mode, and we're 2/3 the way through the game right now. So I'm kind of surprised. This was meant to be just a silly little thing that would just go until I died, but we're 2/3 the way through the game on my first attempt, so we'll see. Might finish it. Clarius says, Muck, what's your honest take on this? How long do you think Guild Wars 2 has left until it's dead? Claire, I think if they did not do another Guild Wars 2 update at all ever, it would still be alive for another 5 to 10 years, because that's happened before. Path of Fire. Most of us thought that there was going to be no more major updates, other than occasional little story bits with Living World, right? And the game was still thriving for 5 years because a lot of people love the game. So I think it would be completely fine. Guild Wars 2 has enough of a player base, like, that it will be fine for a very long time. I want to remind you that not all MMOs die. EverQuest is still live and online after 20 years. Okay? So I don't think it will. Now, could they stop updating it? Yeah, sure. But they've made, at this point, they seem pretty dedicated to keep it going. So no, I don't think that that's going to happen. Guild Wars 1 is also still alive? Yeah. Yep. It is true that lots of failed MMOs end up dying and getting shut down, but if they're keeping servers for anything online, it's because they're making more money than they're losing. So it doesn't hurt them to do that. Like, if you get the Wizard Gobbler, it gives you an achievement. If you get all the Gobblers, including both Ecto Gobblers, it will give the Gobbler of Garbage title. What's the name of the achievement? Oh, here we go. Gobbler's Exchanges Collector. Karmic Fractal Reliquary, Memory Gobbler, Shards of Glory, Volatile Singularity, Tarkton Personal Delivery Portal, Collector's Edition Sandstorm. Oh, that involves the gambling. Yeah, I'm not doing this. It's like you get a merchant. I already have a pocket merchant, so I don't need that. That would just be a huge money investment. Win patch, hour and a half if they do it at their usual time. I enjoyed WildStar. Same. Yeah, I played WildStar for a bit. Guild Wars 2 can now be run on private blades, so I figure it'll be around for a long time. People still play Guild Wars 1. Funny enough, the first 2 acts is not 2/3 of the game, unless, of course, you were just aiming to beat the game and not a bunch of the side content. I would say, so for the Baldur's Gate Honor mode, we're entering Act 3.
Love the GW2 content. Have a great stream.
Thank you, Cigar. Appreciate the prime. Thank you very much. The goal of the Honor mode run is just to beat the game, right? So it's just to get to the final boss and have Gale blow up on their face. That's it. Now, to do that, we need some XP, right? XP is king. Anything that's too risky, skipping it. Currently, we're like at the end of Act 2 and we're level like 9.5. So if we can get, I think 12 is max level in Baldur's Gate 3. So if we can get as close to 12 as possible without taking any like massive risk, and then just go to the final boss and blow him up, that's the hope. That's the plan. Tabi says, I have one gambler, gonna get the other one because I want the title, and average loss is like 700 gold. Yeah, I don't need the title. It's not worth 700 gold to me. How or why is there not a Guild Wars 2 private server? Ain't it NCSoft cracking down on it that good, or just nobody has any interest in creating it? Spaghetti code. I've just never heard of anybody doing that. I mean, maybe someone did and they cracked down on it and I just don't know about it, but I've just never heard of that happening. The closest I know of that is I'm pretty sure there's a Guild Wars 2, there's Guild Wars 2 servers in China that are not connected to the others, so we have no idea what's going on over there. Because, like, NA and EU are connected, right? China, no idea what's going on with Guild Wars 2 over there. I don't even know if they have the same story or if it's in maintenance mode. I don't know. But I've heard that they have, stuff going on over there, too. When does Gabe go back to school? Is he in year 7 high school? He just finished 7th grade. And when does he go back to school? Sometime in August, I think. Because when we go to Seattle for the Guild Wars 2 meetup and going for PAX West, we're going to, let him take a Friday off school, so he's going to have one day off. What's Honor mode? Not making a pass at more than one NPC. No, I would have already failed that. Honor mode is... It's the hardest difficulty. So the hardest difficulty pre-Honor mode is Tactician. It's Tactician, but also the bosses have more abilities. So the bosses are much more dangerous. And also, you have one save file, and also you cannot reload. So, you got one save file, let's say you do something risky, you see it's bad, and you try to reload to that one save file, it doesn't let you. Unless you do some really stupid shenanigans, like you Alt F4 the game and then relaunch it, and then, try to get back in before it hits saved over it. But the general idea is that every decision is permanent. That's basically Honor mode, and then the bosses are tougher. Muck, any tips on getting Astral Acclaim? Fast and easy. Been a long time playing. If you remember to collect the daily login Astral Acclaim every day you log in, you'll constantly get a trickle. As far as getting a bunch fast, I've never really focused on that, but I would say go to the Specials tab and look at the stuff here, because this gives a lot, and see if there's anything here you can knock out. Did you see Josh Drive's video on Expedition 33? I saw that he made it. I haven't had the time to watch it. It's 3.5 hours long. From the Guild Wars 2 forum, the annual sales of 92 billion KRW 2024 are the 5th highest list for Guild Wars 2. Annual sales are only higher in the first year before release. Be sure to adjust settings to include or exclude game modes you don't want to play. Which, channel do you put that on? Let me see. Josh Strife Hayes Expedition 33.
Hello Muck, is the patch they previewed a month ago today? Also here is a joke for you. What is worse than waking up with a pee-pee drawn on your face? Finding out it was traced.
Wow. I just linked the Expedition 33 Josh Strife Hayes video that people keep asking about. That's it right there. I just realized this video is 3 hours, 33 minutes, and 32 seconds. This is literally unacceptable. What was the general consensus of his video? He probably liked it. I like I said, I haven't watched it yet. Yeah, this is on the Josh Strife Plays channel. Time to reduce TTS to 15 seconds, then ignore what comes after. It's only going in PvP all the time. Yeah. So if for Astral Acclaim, for the Wizard's Tower, if you go up here to the gear, wait, am I in the wrong thing? Yeah, click on the gear, and then change it to whatever you want here. Like, I just have mine for PvE. That's what I mostly do these days. 3.5 hour video of him hating it. I mean, there are other content creators who have done similar. I make massive videos on things they hate. Did Arc break? My Arc is still up, but the patch hasn't hit yet. We got an hour and 20 minutes. Let's see. Missing monsters? Let's see if that's still going on. We got onto a map that hasn't done it yet, but I don't think they are doing it. Alright, let me see. Janthier Sentry, meta. God dang it. And now I'm stuck in combat. Skyscale? Come on. There we go. See if this one's going. Hey, nice. This one is going. All right, cool. I can go Unga Bunga. Every time I hear someone say half an hour, I have to PTSD scene from Waterworld. I know the exact scene you're talking about. Half an hour, half an hour, half an hour, half an hour, half an hour. That is a weird thing to fixate on, but I know the one. Bonk, bonk, bonk. And now we start the boons. What patch? There's a pin at the top of the chat. That patch. Guru has more progress than us, so we don't need to hold back. Mish! Phrasing. Oh my gosh. Let's see, I remember Waterworld. I don't know the PTSD scene, but Waterworld is the reason why I'm afraid swimming in deep water when I can't see the ground. I remember the scene they're referencing. I don't want to spell it out, though. And as far as swimming in deep water, I mean, if Waterworld taught us anything, it's if you just swim down deep enough, you find whole cities. Interesting stuff. Star Wars was where if you swim down real deep, a giant fish tries to eat you. And then a giant fish eats that fish. Because there's always a bigger fish. You know what? Hang on. I'm gonna AoE res right here. Alright, that got 4 people up. Which Infinite Gathering axes have 4 strikes as opposed to 3? Axes? For logging. I don't have a mental list for that. I think Volatile does, but I haven't checked it. It's a rune. Wait, what? Let's see. Probably a glyph. Jin, you're feeling nostalgic. No, it's not a rune. Runes don't affect logging axes. Glyph? No. The number of strikes is based on the graphic. Because you can transmog it, or transmute it, so that it looks different and change the number of hits. It's based on the animation. But as far as like a list of the animations and how many strikes, I don't have that memorized. Nice. Slash map, GG. What? That's so cheeky. Did you see that? She's like, yeah. And then I typed GG, and then she punched me in the face one more time. Just to slam the door on the way out. What a punk. I will break her knees again tomorrow. Decima's a sore loser, clearly.
The Isle still. Finally. Celebrate we shall. But those celebrations must remain modest.
And in your opinion, what's the worst or most useless ranger build for open world? What? It's a long list. Like, it's easy to make a terrible build in this game. Like, in World of Warcraft, most of the talent, like, it's like, there's less choices. So, it's like, the worst hunter is, like, not... Okay, how can I explain this? The worst ranger in Guild Wars 2 does 1/20th of the damage of the best ranger, or less. Okay? In World of Warcraft, the disparity between worst and best is not nearly that large. And the reason is because we have more freedom with our builds. But more freedom means it's possible to make amazing things and truly god-awful terrible things. Is the patch out? No, not yet. Another hour, at least. Druid healer build is terrible damage in open world. I mean, technically, yes. The healer druid build does like maybe 2k DPS, and most of that's from the pet. Any ranger with a rifle is the worst. That's an urban ranger. I think the HOA is mowing the lawns. Meow. So a toughness soul beast.
Before they take their
You'd be tanky.
straight to camp.
Let's see. I think Kit Inji is coming back for World v World. Scrapper with FT and nades, then as much CC as possible. Stack, stab, and quickness. Blast for barrier spam. I want Ranger to get rifle or pistol next. Oh god, I don't. So, in PvP, there's already so many projectile block abilities. Like a Guardian with a bubble, or a Tempest with a focus, or magnetic aura. Like, there's so many skills that make it to where you cannot shoot me or any member of my team. And then you just have to wait. And that shuts down shortbow, longbow, throwing axes. Like, having a rifle or a pistol would just be another projectile weapon that gets shut down by the same stuff that's already there. If they add another weapon to Ranger, I would want something, like, new and interesting. Like, we've got projectile weapons in spades. We don't need another one. I would say give us, like, shield or focus and make it interesting. Next X-Pack should just be every class gets focus, and classes who already have focus get main hand focus. Dual wield focus. We need shadow magic focus on Thief. I mean, your scepter is very shadow magic focused. Mug plays games while someone mows the lawn. I need this. Look, I've told you guys before, I had 2 requirements when my wife wanted to move. I was like, 1, fast internet. 2, I will not do yard work. I refuse. Okay? When I was growing up, my dad, like every other weekend, would send me out for like 2 to 3 hours to do yard work, and I absolutely hated it. Like, I had to mow the grass, I had to bag the clippings, I had to get out extension cords and edge the property, and then I had to get out extension cords and use the leaf blower to get all the clippings out of there. And, like, I had to make it look nice. And when you're walking back and forth for hours, there's nothing to do but hate. Your mind is free to just loathe and seethe and just turn to the dark side while you think about the people that made you do this. And I was like, I will not do yard work. I was like, you get a place with no yard work, like it's something where it's like part of the HOA, and you get a place with fast internet, and you can pick everything else. You can make the walls polka dotted, you can make the floors plaid, I don't care. You can pick everything else where we live, just meet those 2 requirements, okay? And she's like, what if we get a place where I do the yard work? And I was like, no. And she's like, come on. I know a nice place, but they don't have like the thing built in. I'll do the yard work. And I'm like, no. And she's like, why not? I'm like, honey, someday. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe we'll be 50 years old, 60, 70. I don't know. There will be a day where you're just sick. You got the flu. You're under the weather. And you're not going to want to go out and do the yard work. And you're going to be like, honey, it's been 50 years. Can you please just this one time mow the lawn? And I will look at you as you are sick on the bed. And I will lean down and whisper in your ear, no. And she's like, it's not that bad. I'm like, have you ever mowed a lawn? And she's like, no. And I'm like, then you don't know. You don't know, okay? You have no idea what you're talking about, all right? You pick everything else. I'm not doing it. Not again, all right? So, what a great husband. I am a great husband. I am very honest, okay? Like, if she says, does this dress make me look fat? I'll be like, no, you look beautiful. That dress is ugly, though. I will give her honest answers, okay? I will not lie to you and let you go out in public looking, you know, awful because your dress has pirate sleeves or something.
Look at me,
all right?
so curvy.
I am very honest. I do help out with chores around the house. I hate yard work, okay? I hate yard work. That's it. So, yes, the place where we live right now, we pay an HOA fee. And they mow the lawns for the whole community. Like, the whole neighborhood gets mowed. The puffy shirt, yes. Yeah. I am a very dependable, like, you guys know me. I've been here every day for 7 years. I'm a very reliable person. But also, I'm a very honest. If I tell you, I'm like, I ain't doing that, I ain't doing that. If I tell you I am doing that, I am doing that. That's it, the end. If I say I'm going to do something, you can count on it. Am I getting numb flashbacks when he sees a lawnmower? Yeah, basically. Oh yeah, mowing an acre of lawn at 5 years old, Georgia Summers, was the beginning of what turned me to gamer rage. Dude. I remember one of the lawns I was talking about as a kid that I had to mow, it was like at a 45-degree angle. And I would be so sore after, and it was like the lawnmower would be like almost flipping over, and we're gonna kill someone with a blade in the air. It was so rough pushing that thing back and forth. Ooey HOA. Our HOA has never bothered. Look, a lot of the only HOAs you hear about on the internet are the bad ones, right? The ones that are like, you can't have that lawn gnome on your porch, or we're gonna fine you. So like this one, I've literally had no interactions with our HOA. It's just they mow the lawns. Like that's it. Like ours is very whatever. So they're not all psychopaths like what you hear about on the internet. Is an HOA an American thing? What is it? So Claire, okay, in the case of my neighborhood, imagine there's like a little thing called a homeowners association, okay? And let's say every person in the neighborhood pays some amount of money to the HOA each month, all right? Let's say 50 bucks, $100, I don't know. All that money is pooled together, and then they use it for things, such as paying a lawn service to come through the neighborhood and mow the entire neighborhood every 2 weeks. That's an example of that. So it's just like, by everyone collectively doing it, it's cheaper for everyone, and no one has to do yard work. Maybe some neighborhoods have like a pool, and the money is used to like keep the pool clean and the maintenance and stuff like that. Maybe there's like tennis courts. I don't know. It depends on where you live. But there's always horror stories on the internet of like, my HOA says I'm not allowed to have lawn flamingos because that breaks the contract. Yeah, I don't know. There's like weird ones out there you hear like weird stories about. Mine, I haven't ever had that issue. Basically a small local council. I mean, council's a strong word. They don't have any authority. They some of them like to act like they do, but yeah, and maybe they have little rules, right? Like some neighborhoods might have rules, like you're not allowed to have a car parked on the street in front of a house for more than 24 hours. I've heard of ones like that because they think it makes the neighborhood look bad having a bunch of cars parked along the road and blocking the road. Yeah, maybe there's like weird rules like that, and there are horror stories online of people that take the power trip. I mean, it's kind of like a Reddit mod, right? They're like some of them just go on a power trip and they just go way too far. This is the first time I haven't heard about HOA being terrible. I mean, I mean that's like if I said something like, "Oh man, yeah, I've only ever heard of Europe being terrible," because unfortunately that's all the news I get over here. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure that you guys have your problems just like, we in America have our problems, but sadly, terrible news makes the loudest news. You don't go outside much, so do you forget what color your house is? It's pasty. No, I know what color the house is. My car can't identify what color the car is. This is like rust. Saw on Reddit, had a HOA complain their garage was hoarded. He had trash can, a few boxes, and some small machines. My neighbor's garage, I see him open it from time to time. It's just full of stuff. Like, he has to park in the driveway. There's no room for cars in his garage. It's just all stuff. HOAs are fine as long as none of the HOA board members mind their business. That isn't always the case. Hey, Mike Blue, Yours Enthusiast. What's up, Jersey? When does Gabe start driving? He's 13 right now, so... What is it, 16 you get your learner's permit, I think, in Georgia? So at least 3 years. We should normalize posting about boring things to counteract all the sensationalist bullcrap. Let's see. What else I got? Karka Queen. Tyr. I love Tyr. Let's go punch Cthulhu. Georgia? I thought you lived in Florida. No. I was technically born in Florida. My dad was in the military, and they were at a military base in Florida when I was born. And when I was 2 weeks old, they had to evacuate because a hurricane was coming. When I was 4 weeks old, which was 2 weeks later, they had to evacuate the evacuation point because a different hurricane hit there. So yeah, Florida was like, get this kid out of here. Like, God himself was like, you gotta go. But, you know, I lived, which... Funny enough, years later, when I was in elementary school age, so like age 6, my parents moved to the Florida Keys. So you really can't get more hurricane adjacent than the Florida Keys. So we when I was like age 6 and 7, we lived in the Florida Keys. But I've lived in many, many places. Most of my adult life has been in Georgia, though, which is where I live now. Oric. Is it true in America, for example, a supermarket, the price doesn't include tax, you pay tax at the counter? Honestly, that's true for any purchase in America. So, for example, when you go to buy something, they'll be like, you know, oh yeah, that's $19.99, and you're like, oh, it's 20 bucks. Like, they always like to say, oh, it's 99, because they're hoping that stupid people can't add tax in their head and round it up. But yeah, basically all... virtually all price tags in America do not include the tax. And so you just mentally add a few bucks. And then when you get to the counter and they ring it up, then it adds the tax there. But yeah. And that's not just the grocery store. That's literally everything. Everything. Did they nerf Vindy Dodge? The pin at the top of the chat has the patch notes that I last heard of. There should be another set sometime soon. Certain things have different rates of tax. I'm in New York, so food is not taxed. Clothing is 4%. Everything else is 8%. When you get to the counter, depending on what you can have all sorts of different rates. Food is not taxed? That's awesome. I didn't know there were places that didn't do that. It's just me, Mal. Mal! Thank you for the tier 1 sub. Appreciate you. Welcome. Some food in some places, if it's prepared versus handmade, or may not be taxed. Interesting. Only certain food in Canada is taxed. For example, bread, milk, meat is no tax. I got a phone call when you clarified the Georgia-Florida topic. Heard literally nothing. Kiamlor, TLDR, I was born in Florida. I've lived in many, many different places, but most of my adult life I've been in Georgia. I'm in Georgia now. Just in Austria, don't use pennies, don't have them, so $2.99 is $3. Don't use pennies. Why would they even have the price tag? What? If they don't use pennies, why would they have the price for an item be an amount which would require pennies if you paid in cash? The only food in New York that is taxed is like prepared food. So if you buy food at a restaurant or something already cooked at the store. I see videos of food supermarkets being literally locked up and you need a store person to unlock it because theft has skyrocketed. I have seen those as well, Claire. I don't know where those are. All I can say is, like, I've never seen those in person, right? Like, there are cities that are famous for having really bad crime rates, like Chicago, and stuff like that. Like, they've just got, like, a reputation. I think there's one in Michigan, which, you know, I would never go there. But yeah, I see videos like that, and I think they're from locations like that. Detroit, yeah, Detroit. Yeah, they've just got a reputation for that. because it's been going on way too long. But no, in none of the places I have lived, have I ever witnessed that firsthand. Okay, cool. We saved to rear. Easy. It's just on autopilot during that. Come here, open 30 chests, tell everyone they did a great job, refuse to elaborate, leave. I realize my Mesmer should cosplay a pirate with a blunderbuss for rifle heels. You certainly could. There's a whole pirate outfit that's sometimes on the gem store. Got the peg leg and the hook hand and the hat. Get yourself some puffy sleeves. Yeah. Hi, GX. Sometimes people are overdramatic. One person asked if it was okay to live in Baltimore because of refugees. I don't know anything about Baltimore. I've certainly seen news videos floating around the internet of places where, like, the number of refugees was, like, overwhelming. And it just, like, completely overwhelmed the locals. And, like, I could totally understand that being a problem. Because that would just be, like, you know, but if it's, you know, going through proper channels and stuff. Guys, my wife was a refugee. Okay? Like, her family, now, I mean, she came to America when she was, like, a baby, okay? So she only knows America. But her family, came in from, Belarus. After, like, you know, fleeing, like, the USSR and stuff like that, back when she was an infant. They came in through legal channels. They did, you know, everything through, like, you know, on the up and up and, you know, proper means. And it was, like, fine. So yeah, I had no problem with that. Like, the only times I hear about it being an issue is when it's just, like, an overwhelming number of people for the community that they're arriving at. The only thing I know about Baltimore, I learned from the musical Hairspray. Oh, no. Apparently you can ride to school in a garbage truck. I don't know. I didn't see Hairspray. I do have the pirate outfit. It was given away with Twitch drops. I remember those drops. Yeah, those were popular. People thought I surfed to school in SF, so no one knows anything. 2 giant supermarket companies in Austria have now installed gates, and a store person have to manually open it with a remote because theft has become insane. Even saw one with more than 100 CCTV cameras. Yeah, that's always a bummer, because, like, if it gets too expensive to maintain a store in an area because theft is too high, what are they going to do? They're going to close the store. And then that area doesn't have access to that stuff anymore. Yeah, it's unfortunate when it gets that bad. Zamer says, are the tax rates a percentage or something visible in the price tags in the store at least? So you need to not only add a percent to the price in mind, but you also know what percent to add depending on the product type. So Zamer, in the US, at least where I live, it's usually just like, okay, whatever I'm gonna pick up, I just add 5 to 10% in my head. That's pretty much it. And sometimes you get to the counter and they ring everything up and it's like, oof, okay, that was worse than I thought. Or, oh, not as bad as I thought. And that's it. Yeah, like, no, that's kind of how it is for me, at least. But where I live, when I go to the store, basically everything is getting a percentage added to it. So, like, if I am buying $100 worth of groceries, it's going to be 105 to 110. Usually. You know, there are times where it deviates. How long till the new patch? Regular patch time is about an hour from now if they stick to that. I left and it was patch notes and builds chat. Now we're figuring out world problems that escalated. Ghost Story, we're people lining up their problems. We're just knocking them down one by one. Let's see. In Australia's case, they were accused of price gouging and making items more expensive during COVID, using inflation as an excuse during the cost of living crisis. They destroyed reputation because of it. Wait, they destroyed? Who's they? Like the supermarket? Like you talk about like grocery stores? Does that make Lady Luck a mail order bride since she's from a Russian area? My dad actually told the pastor on our wedding day that she was a mail order bride, and we found out after. Because my dad was trying to be funny. There's a video on that story right there. Add 5 to 10%. Do you easily know how much to add? That system seems so inconvenient to customers. Newsflash, it is. Yeah, you basically go in, and it's rare, but you occasionally will see someone at the counter realize they don't have enough and they have to put something back. But yeah, it's not great. Only 5% in the States. VAT is 20% in the UK. Yeah, but remember, if I call 911 and have to get an ambulance, it's my bloodline is going to be paying that off for 3 generations. So I mean, I would trade you if it was a package deal. We've gone from government bodies up to yeah. As a European, the weirdest thing I hear about is tipping culture in America. That's a funny thing. So, if you look at, like, memes and stuff, right? Tipping culture, like memes will tell you that, like, we fly on an airplane, the airplane lands, everybody claps, and then we all tip the pilot on the way out, right? Like, it's not like that at all. Now, what is true? Anyone who, like, prepares food. Like, if you go to a restaurant, you're usually expected to tip the waiter or waitress, and, like, a bartender, stuff like that, okay? Like, it is expected in those industries. Or, delivery, like, if you get, like, a pizza delivered, you're usually expected to tip the driver because you paid for gas or whatever. Now, I'm not saying it's right, okay? I'm not saying it's correct, but that is normal. But we don't, like, just tip for freaking everything over here. It's that, like, that stuff. Like, the stuff I listed is basically, like, the bulk of it. There might be a few exceptions. Now, that is a common complaint, though, that they should just, because what they'll do is they, like, restaurant owners, will pay waiters and waitresses, like, some stupid amount. Like, $3 an hour, but then plus tips. So if they don't get tips, they literally can't afford to live. It's not good, but that is the norm that needs to be broken. So, some jobs pay, like, pennies, and then they have to get tips to survive. And that's, not normal in, like, the rest of the world or many other places in the world, so that's where it gets odd. That dragon died real fast. That was some really high DPS. Those guys were tearing through that. Every time I see other Aussies vehemently oppose the idea of required tips, I feel a twinge of patriotic pride. Do you have a minimum wage in the US at all? Yes, but the minimum wage hasn't been updated in decades. Or something like that. Like a really long time. I might not have the numbers right, but it's a really long time. And the problem is, the idea of the minimum wage is this is the minimum wage you would need to make in order to be able to survive. And it is no longer that. Like the minimum wage no longer, especially after all the inflation we went through the last like 5 to 10 years, the minimum wage would not allow you to survive currently. It hasn't kept up. Hang on a sec. What is the minimum wage in Georgia in 2025? $7.25 an hour. All right, so hang on. So, okay, 40 hours a week times $7.25 an hour. That's $290 a week if you get 40 hours a week at that rate, right? So 290 times, let's say roughly 4 weeks in a month. That's let's see, 1160, and so times 12. All right, so that would be roughly $13,900 per year. I don't know where you could live off that. So that's Georgia. Now that's estimates, but it's not enough to get by almost anywhere. $24.95 here in Australia. Yeah, but you guys have spiders that if they bite your ankle, your foot falls off. So you get, there's a whole different reason I'm scared of your continent. In Poland, minimum wage will let you survive, but not in the biggest cities. So true. Australian dollars are worth like 50 US cents. The main country that I hear complaints about, like, the currency being terrible is, was it Venezuela? Haven't really heard Australian to USD complaints before. Mike, I've been trying for 5 minutes to find your breakdown on the patch notes vid, but no luck. Well, we don't have today's patch notes yet. If you want the preview breakdown, give me a second. Massive. Guild Wars 2, QOL's coming Tuesday. No, that's not it. I know I've talked about it. Double XP weekend, Guild Wars 2 sales, discussing Absolution. Look at the pinned comment. Well, the pinned comment is a list of all the changes. If you just want a list of all the changes as we last heard them, that's it. It might have been included one. Okay, hang on a sec. So these are all my most recent videos. I'm guessing it was part of the conversation in like one of these. Like this was these are patch notes on this day. These are patch notes on this day. I'm guessing in one of these we also talked about this and it just wasn't in the title. Touching grass. Oh yeah, this reminded me. So I was working on a new little series chat that was basically just short videos. See, this is like a minute and a half where I'm just like, you know, telling some cool little story bits from the Guild Wars universe that I thought was interesting. I released one about Lion's Arch, the 3 Lion's Arches. The next one is going to be about the time that Gormag, what? I was trying to say Garm resisted Jormag. Who the hell is Gormag? I was trying to say that the next one that I've already recorded is about Garm resisting Jormag. And the next one, I was going to tell the story of the Long Cat Legion. You guys remember the Long Cat Legion? I was going to make like a 1 to 2 minute video telling that story. And I've written most of the script. And, however, the thing that I need to test right now... Hold on a second. Do I have any of these? I do. Oh my god. Okay. Chat, here's the question that I have to finish this video. Fool's Tall Tonics. Does this only work during April Fools? Or does it work year-round? Okay, I just drank one and I didn't get long. I guess it's only during April Fools? Isn't there another item that can, like, you can replicate the effects of April Fools? I don't know how to do it, though.
Tell me something.
Applies dramatically taller field of vision during April Fools.
South Sun Cove, Divinity's Reach, Fort Mariner. How many careers can one have? This unit is very versatile.
Okay. What's the Long Cat Legion? There was a... Okay, the TLDR is there was a bug with a chest piece in Guild Wars 2. And when you equipped it, it stretched your torso out. It was a glitch, it wasn't intended. but it only bugged out on Char. And these are screenshots of when it happened. Okay? And everyone was calling them the Long Cat Legion. Alright? This was actually a thing. Okay? So, this happened, and Guild Wars 2, like, officially posted, they're like, look, this is hilarious, we love it, but we do have to fix this. So they fixed it. That was in 2022, and then in 2024, they surprised everyone by, on April Fools, they released a thing that I just had some of in my bag, called the Fool's Tall Tonic, which gives you a heightened state of awareness. And if you drink it during April Fools, it replicates that bug and it stretches you out and makes you super tall. But the tonic, I think, works on all the races. So it was like a bug that became like a silly thing they bring back each year for April Fools. Just like, you know, to kind of, they embraced the bug. There's a rare grade ring that lets you see invisible cats along with an infusion that does the same effect. I know the Chatoyant elixir that lets you see the giant cats. Yeah. Muck, the stuff you're looking for is in a Hooligan Cavern in Lion's Arch. The stuff I'm looking for?
Take it up with your union.
Garm is a reference to Shin Megami Tensei. I don't know what that is. Hold on. I'm going to copy the thing you said, and I'm going to go to Google, and I'm going to ask Google what that is. A Japanese media franchise created by Aya blah 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 blah. Okay. Huh? How is Garm reference to this? Okay, so this looks like an anime. I see like a lot of anime people. The tonics plus the ring and the infusion. I have the tonic already. Garm is from a Norse mythology. That one I've heard. Garm is a demon dog from Shin Megami. I would guess that Shin Megami and also Guild Wars 2 both pulled Garm from mythology. Hold on. If I just Google, let's see. Who is Garm in mythology? Okay. In Norse mythology, Garm, a powerful blood-stained wolf or dog, is described as a hound who guards the entrance to the underworld realm of Hell. He is chained in a cave called Nýpahellir. During Ragnarok, the apocalyptic battle, Garm is prophesied to break free and fight, ultimately killing the god Tyr. So, I'm pretty sure that the game that you're thinking of is the first game you ever saw, Garm, but I think it also pulls from this, because I don't think there's any anime older than Norse mythology. It's Scandinavian Cerberus? Yeah, something like that. How do you deal with discovering the map and waypoints on a new character? Just power through? One, I'm not an altaholic, so I don't make new characters that often. Two, yeah, pretty much. You can use, like, portal scrolls and stuff to get to... Like, if you make a new character and you just want to go somewhere immediately, you can use a portal scroll. But, yeah, typically, if I'm working on world map comp each day, I'll just be like, alright, point of interest, waypoint, point of interest, okay, I'm bored. And just each day, I'll do a few things until I slowly get the whole world filled in. Okay. Okay, let's see, what else we got? Blinding Towers, Titanic Voyage. What's going on? Let's see. Let's see, I just remembered I first encountered Garm when I played Guild Wars 2 back at release. I was like, oh hey, I remember that from Persona. From Persona? Yeah. Yeah, I ran into Garm. What was it? Did God of War Ragnarok have Garm? Or a Garm? I think it did. There was a giant wolf. I think it was Garm. I'll get corrected in a second if I'm wrong. Let's get these out of the mail. Yeah, I did. Okay. Take your sir. Who knows? Butter. Oh. Treats. Okay. Did you know the only part of alcoholic that means addiction is the ick at the end? So we say alcoholic, we're technically saying we're addicted to alcohol. Okay. So if you ask a girl out and she's grossed out by you and she goes, ick, then she's addicted. Yes, that'll help me sleep at night. Let's see. Janthir, Bavanisos, Mate. There we go.
Hello? Wayfinder?
Boop, boop.
Yes? Good. We've entered the mall. They stand by and
You guys see how many girls lately? No.
join us.
My wife has closer tabs on me than I think any other wife has tabs on her husband. She's got video footage of where I'm at every day for 7 years. She got me on a short leash. She got nothing to worry about.
Magic is cascading from it. Avoid those shockwaves however you can.
How do we get that sky scale guy pulled down? I dislike seeing its flapping.
Leave me be!
I tell them the sky scale's crappy DPS, they come down sometimes. Oh, very nice, CC. Ah, dang. Couldn't get to that one in time. Waiting for Ada to add that doing a cheese on sky scale means you automatically feel them. Reminds me of that story I told once of doing Sartharian in World of Warcraft. And this one lady died immediately, used reincarnate on her shaman, and then died again immediately. And we're like, oh my god. And we finished the fight, and then she got this really hard to get achievement for beating the fight without ever taking damage from, like, lava walls. And then the next week, all the DPS are like, oh, oops, I messed up, I died, don't res me, save it in case the tank died. And I'm like, you guys are such trolls. Because she accidentally figured out die early, get rarest achievement. I was the last person in the guild to get that achievement because I was the main tank. I swear, like, the DPS and the healers are all taking turns accidentally dying each week. I didn't get a turn. I just had to play perfectly. I had to do a no-hit run. I do not miss 3 Drake Sarth. I had a really good group for it. Like, what is it? Wrath of the Lich King and Cataclysm was when I was leading, like, server first rating, so I was with some really competent people, so it was nice. It was fun. Oh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Not even close. Muggy, you left or right-handed? I am right-handed. Why? Ooh, the puddle on the ground ate my Aegis, so it didn't block the knockback. Mug, how you Condi cleanse the heal untamed? Healing Spring is the big one. That just spams Condi cleanses. But if you don't have enough with that, also Frost Spirit does Condi cleanses. Frost Spirit does 2 slams, so it does a lot of Condi cleansing. And then, if you wanted to, you could also bring a Grizzly Bear, which has AoE Condi Cleanse.
Suffer this place no longer.
So you got a couple of options. But Spring cures 3 conditions on 5 targets, and then it'll do another slam, so it'll cure 6 conditions on 5 targets. Spring does, like, up to 60 condition cleanses in an area. And the bear is, like, I think 2 to your whole party when you activate it. Now, I'm not using the bear, because Spring and Frost Spirit are more than enough, I feel. Unless I was doing something like, you know, maybe Slothosaur, then maybe I'd bring more, but that's a, you know, exception, not a rule. What class did you play in Wrath? When Wrath of the Lich King came out, it included the Malagos fight, and Malagos required you to have people in the raid with the skill Death Grip, which had just come out with Death Knights, which was a pull. It was the first pull added to the game. So we had to level a couple of Death Knights in order to keep pushing for server first. I ended up being one of them, so I played Death Knight from Wrath onward, so that we had access to that. I was a DK tank. Which in Wrath could be Unholy Blood or Frost. I think when we got server first Lich King, I was doing it as Unholy. Later on, they made it to where DK tanks had to play Blood. They made them like lifesteal monsters, like vampires or something. Unholy was funny, because I had a ghoul pet, and its health scaled with your health, and since I was a tank, my ghoul pet had like 50,000 hit points. So I had like twice the health of any of our glass cannons. Speaking of WoW, what's your thoughts on the rumor of Demon Hunter getting a new spec? First time I've heard of the rumor. I'm not really up to date with retail. Like I said, my heyday was around 13 years ago. I don't really know what they're doing these days. So, like, if I were to ever play WoW, if I played on, like, the hardcore classic servers, I would be very knowledgeable about stuff. But if I was going on to, like, retail, I would have a lot to learn. Speaking of a lot of conditions, there's a lot of ads here, and it feels like no one's killing them. Doing as much healing as I can. I have never seen this many ads at this wall. I have never seen them build up this much. Oh my god, I'm getting CC'd so much. Is that the Janthier meta? Yeah, this is Bavanisos, the last map in Janthier. Right now we've got turtles here beating on a wall, and I'm trying to heal the turtles so they don't have to dismount. Make sure you cut the soda rings to help the turtles. Oh wait, this is the Warclaw wall. I was waiting for it to open, then I'm like, oh wait, we have to open it. Let's see, I played up until halfway through Mists of Pandaria. I saw it between Main Tank Bear and Blood Death Knight. DK went more into Arena and PvP because it was basically immortal right after the reworks. Yeah, I played DK all through Wrath and Kata, and honestly, I felt like the class I was playing became a new class like 4 times. Because they did so many complete overhauls over DK after they released it. Blood DK Flag Carrier was a nightmare for a long time. It did alright. The big weakness to Blood DK is it had to be close to you in order to lifesteal and keep healing itself. And if you could kite it, like it could death grip on a cooldown, but if that wasn't enough to keep it on you, or if that wasn't enough for them to stay on you, then you could kite them to death. Because if they had to use Chains of Ice, that was one less self-heal they could do. It used the same resources. But yeah, in PvE, it was great. Like, it'd be funny, because, like, the healing meters, like, if we were running, like, a DPS meter for healing, I would sometimes out-heal the healers with my self-healing. It was monstrous. It's absolutely ridiculous amounts of sustain. Mug, did he get a nice chest beat ability and a coconut gun? What? I don't know what you're talking about. My all-time favorite class to play was Enhancement Shaman. Mish, that was actually my first level 60. I raided Molten Core and Onyxia back in like original vanilla, like, you know, 15 years ago or whatever it was, on Enhancement Shaman. I was an orc. Donkey Kong joke. Oh, okay. 20 years ago. I couldn't remember. I know that it was exactly 13 years ago that I stopped raiding. And because it's Gabe's age. It was when I was like, guys, I'm about to be a dad. I can't keep doing this 20 hours a week as much as I love it. And that was when I stopped doing, like, the super endgame server first raiding. So I could just, like, think, how old's Gabe? And that's how long ago that was. But as far as, like, the age of, like, vanilla WoW, I don't have that math ready to go in my head. Okay. That one's done. Let's try this again. Next expansion, Orion's Revenge. I mean, it would not be too outside of the realm of possibility for Orien to get corrupted from all the magic and stuff. However, at the same time, I think it would be kind of a boring thing to do, because we just did that with Suwon. So, lore-wise, it would make sense, but at the same time, it's like, we just did that. So, I'm kind of doubting that they're going to go down that route. Is there a way to skip the story entirely? I mean, you can usually just use, like, you know, teleport to a friend to get to a zone if you don't want to do the story to get to that zone. Orien is the boss before the game shuts down. So we've been training the boss the whole time. Build a boss workshop. Shields up. The commander should become the villain. The final mission, it's like all your allies are trying to bring you down, and you're just fighting and fighting and fighting until you break, and then the story is that you just snapped. Kill Bram first. I will totally target him if given the option. A story where you get brainwashed, think you're helping a new group of people, secretly seeing allies as enemies and thrashing them easily. That's the Hist-Sap storyline in Oblivion. Fighter going into combat, takes drugs, sees goblins, kills goblins, wakes up, he killed a village. No, they interrupted my favorite button. How dare you? I tried aegising this last time, chat. It doesn't work. Embrace tranquility. I recently started Path of Fire, and I super feel like I'm at least an anti-hero. I don't know what happened between Season 3 and Path of Fire, but Commander suddenly became a real jerk. You feel like an anti-hero in Path of Fire? It's been a long time since I did Path of Fire. I'm trying to remember the behavior of the main character. I don't want to say villain. Well, you're definitely not a villain. Some Marine fans would enjoy a small visit to her retirement. I mean, we got to do, like... I think the closest thing you're going to get to that is the post-credit scene after End of Dragons, where you go back and talk with Aurene and feed her a fish. I think that was the last one. Freaking fish. Cell jump. Alright. Aurene's napping. Yeah, Aurene is trying to digest and process, like, all the Elder Dragon's magic. And, she's pretty much focusing on trying to not explode right now. So, we don't want to disturb her. She's like, breathe in, don't explode, breathe out, don't explode. Breathe in, don't explode, just over and over and over. She's good at digesting, right, Joko? I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he ever comes out the other side, or if he's just in there. End of game as she explodes, server shuts down. You know what I'm reminded of here? Hang on a sec. Hold on. I want to share some lore with you guys. All right, chat. Let's talk Total War Warhammer 3 for a second. All right. You guys all know what goblins are. You don't have to know what goblins are in Warhammer. Just know that there's goblins, okay? And in Warhammer 3, there is a goblin whose name is Grom the Paunch. Now, Grom the Paunch is a big boy. Now, how did this come to happen? This is some funny lore, chat. He and his warband took down a troll. Trolls regenerate. He ate raw troll. It started regenerating in his belly. And his stomach acid was fighting a regenerating troll in his belly. And it came to be called the Battle of the Bulge. This is actual lore. And he started getting fatter and fatter and fatter and bigger. He's getting taller too. Normal goblins go up to like his thigh. He's getting bigger too. But he's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And he finally wins, but he looks like this now. And he regenerates now. And he is a beast in combat. The elves hate him, chat. Like, the elves hate him because they fill him with arrows and he just heals up. So he's a giant, fat, regenerating goblin. He won the Battle of the Bulge. He has an ability called Grom's Kitchen, and he can feed all of his army like troll meat and stuff like that to give them power-ups for time. He's just like me for real. Seemed related to the conversation. Evening Mike, evening chat, evening. Oh wait, yeah. Yeah, he's got like a cart that pulls him around. He's too big. Let's see. Elves hate this one simple trick. Yeah, be fat goblin. Reminds me of the Goblin King from Final Fantasy, mostly Crystal Chronicles series. Update notes. Oh my god, update notes. Let's see. Hang on. Dark mode. Okay. Let's skim for a sec. Oh my god. So much. Wait. Hold on. Wait. Is this in addition to the old notes? Hold on. This is an... Okay. Alright. Oh, here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Below are additions and changes to the balance preview notes we previously shared. The changes below supersede the preview notes. You can see the original balance notes shared here. Gotcha. Okay. So, this is all new stuff. Let's see. Engineer, big old bomb. The skill's been moved into the bomb kit, replacing glue bomb. The skill now knocks down enemies instead of launching them in combos a blast finisher twice. Griffin Stance evasion bonuses now an internal cooldown of 1 second. Bumble from the Janthier B reduced the knockdown duration from 3 to 2 seconds. Yeah, okay, totally fair. Dude, 3-second long knockdown in PvP feels like an eternity. Totally fair. Stinging Sorrow reduced the power coefficient in PvP. Primal Cry reduced increased cooldown from 20 to 25 seconds. No. Dude, these are all because of the B. PvP. More like BVP. Untamed, Ravagers abandoned, fixed and prevent the scoping downstate enemies. Necro. Don't see anything about the staff. I guess the staff changes went through. Okay. Alright, we'll wait for the patch to go live, which should be like 10 minutes, and then we'll do like a news video. Can we get the link? Yeah, I'll post it again. That's it. Alright, Wizard's Vault. Boop. And boop. Okay. Let's see. Could go clean up the bags a little bit. The lore behind that is crazy. Jareth technically isn't a goblin. He was a precursor Toby. Will Heal Alack Vindicator be viable? I don't know. I do not know Vindicator well enough that I could just look at the list of Vindicator changes and be able to kind of mentally picture how that's going to go. So I don't know. I would have to try it, is my answer. I would have to give it a shot. Ambergris. Give me that whale vomit. Let's see. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Anything about fixing the asparagus home garden plant issue? Maverick, what is wrong with asparagus? Tell me. I haven't heard this one. Can't plant asparagus at all. Really? Huh. I think I've had carrots planted for a good long while. I haven't heard this. What's wrong with asparagus? It's asparagus. You know... Okay. You know... How can I explain this? Growing up, cartoons, comics, things like that. Kids always hated broccoli and, like, meatloaf, you know? Like Calvin and Hobbes. Like, his mom made meatloaf, and he was like, ugh, you know, and stuff like that. Like, the children in these, like, comics and cartoons, they always hate, like, you know, that kind of stuff. And growing up, I thought I hated it, too. And my parents one time, well, more than once, my parents a few times made broccoli, and I didn't like it. And I thought I hated broccoli. Until 80 years later, I got married. And my wife made roasted broccoli one day with dinner. Like, it was like a side item. Chad, I freaking loved it. And I realized that I had just always had broccoli cooked one way, which was like, it's like steamed or something. I think it was steamed. It was just like, it was raw, basically. And I was just like, I was like, yeah, this isn't good. But then my wife makes like, you know, roasted vegetables, and they're like freaking delicious. I love them. And I was just like, wow, I thought I hated broccoli. I had just only had it ever cooked one way, and it was gross. Steamed just makes it mushy. Yeah, it just wasn't great. So it's like there was quite a few veggies that I thought I didn't care for. And then my wife roasted them, and I'm like, damn, this is delicious. Like, I didn't know. Also, she makes good meatloaf, too. Separate thing. She doesn't roast the meatloaf. Steam still has some snap. Boiled, however, it turns into, like, mush. Yeah, I don't recall exactly, but I remember, like, when I had broccoli as a kid, I was like, all right, Calvin was right. This is terrible. No way the memes about American vegetables is real. The memes about American vegetables? I don't know what the memes are. We see memes about European food, like, you know, you guys flavor your pot pies with water. Invaded half the known world for spices, and then they didn't like them, and they don't use any of them. That's the kind of stuff we see. That's the British. All of Europe is basically British, right? Duck under the table. It's basically, it's all the same thing. Irishman intensifies. Technically, I have Irish heritage, but I've never been over there, so I can't make any claims beyond that. I think there's one part of the Irish that lives on in me even to this day, chat. I really like potatoes. Mash them, smash them, make them in a stew, whatever. I really like potatoes. Let's see. Zytaffy's piling up. And your long A name. Maverick, I wanted to talk about the asparagus. Oh, roasted asparagus. I had it roasted. It was fine. Broccoli and most of the cabbage family get very tasty when browned. Generally, you'll put a very nice flavor. Yeah, she usually like roasts them and puts some seasoning, like I think like seasoning salt and something else on them or something. But yeah, it's super good. Like I'm totally down to eat that. The joke on US is that you either put a ton of butter into it or deep fry everything. What's her name? Who was that? Oh God, what was her name? Damn it. There was like this one famous chef, is this old lady, and she was like known as like the queen of butter or something, and she friggin' she did not do good for our reputation for deep frying everything, because she deep fried everything. Paula Deen, yeah, dude, she's like, we're just gonna put a touch of butter on it. She takes like half a stick and just slams it on top. I'm like, what are you doing, Paula? You're going to just kill everyone. Yeah. Yep. Betty Crocker as well, yeah. Someone said the update's up. Oh boy. Your game will restart in 2 hours. Okay. I need to hide my screen. Summoning the Bacon of Obscurity. Wait, is it not working? Wait, there we go. Bacon of Obscurity. I'm hiding my login. Hang on. Do not look behind the bacon. Super secret stuff going on back here. Alright, it's downloading. Activate bacon mission, yes. That ended up being the perfect distraction tool when I'm doing super sneaky things. We're weird about in the US, but Brits put butter on ham sandwiches. Why would you put butter on a ham sandwich? She also made a burger with Krispy Kreme donuts. Okay, look. I love Krispy Kreme donuts. I know they're wildly unhealthy, so I only get them a couple times a year, okay? They're delicious, all right? It's very much an unhealthy snack. However, I have seen pictures of the people that put them on, use them as like hamburger buns, and that looks vile. I ain't even trying that. Like, why, like a burger with that much sugar on it? Why? Those don't go together. No. No. When will ANET fix World v. World 3-minute timer? Whole thing takes 1 minute if that. I have no idea. What is the Krispy Kreme burger? Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Okay. All right, first of all, what is Krispy Kreme? I don't know if this is worldwide. It's just donuts. It is a donut restaurant is a strong word. It's a place you can drive through and order donuts. And they also Krispy Kreme they have a window usually that you can look through and you can watch them being made. Dude, look at this. This is the fountain of glaze. The donuts go through and they're just like encased in sugar when they get through this thing. Dude, imagine if you could like win a contest and you get to just go down this thing. Just, oh my gosh. Anyway, so there's that. And then someone invented this thing, which is a travesty, which is a burger, but the buns are Krispy Kreme donuts. Now, I'll try a lot of foods, chat. But if the buns of my burger are encased in sugar, I'm not down for that. I don't want that anywhere near me. That does not sound good. Skill issue? Yes, skill issue. My tongue's skill issue. Yes. Let's see. Summer vacation appearance package. Go to raid like this. What's up, fellas? You Myron? Oh, this one has like a flower behind my ear. Oh, I've got like little wristband thing. Oh my gosh, 3-toed sandals. Dude, they made 3-toed sandals. This is, okay, this is weird. It's like an outfit. It's shoes, wrist, pants, chest, head, but not shoulders. Your shoulders still show. It's an outfit without shoulders. That's rare. Swimming accessory. What? And this one makes you topless and gives you the snorkel. Very odd. Underwater expat confirmed. Oh my gosh. Alright. And you can get them all separately. Mini Garb. Garb, I made a video about you coming soon. Not to be confused with Gormag, I said that earlier. Alright, so there's new swimsuit stuff. Black Lion Specialist. Nothing new on the Black Lion Specialist. Black Lion Chest. Hello. Valkyrie's Champion Helmskin. Wow! Yo, okay. I could immediately think of some stuff that people could do with this. That's pretty neat, honestly. I love the after image of the feathers. Very Guardian. Yeah, yeah. Any Guardian, I think, could pull this off. For the Emperor. Go hunt down some heresy with that thing. Alright. We got Maguma weapons in there, too.
Almost 3 years of feeding Chip.
And he appreciates it, Kothern. Yeah, he was so cute this morning, chat. I've told you guys before, Chip knows where, like, it's 10 a.m., the sunbeams are in that room, you know? It's noon, the sunbeams are in that room, you know what I mean? Like, he has an internal clock for where the sunbeams are. And Gabe's playroom is, I say playroom, it's a room with a bunch of his toys he's starting to outgrow. So the door was closed. And this morning I woke up, I'm like, hey, Chip. And I'm still kind of out of it. And he's like kind of headbutting the door, the playroom. I'm like, oh. And I go and I open it, and immediately goes in there and flops in the sun. He wanted to get in there, and I went in there and pet him. He was purring. It was very cute. Is he always cute? Yeah, but he was being real cute. He's doing that thing. You know, like imagine a cat laying on its side and you start petting them and they're like, and they're like arching their back. He's like, yes, I'm gonna need to stretch out to just fully appreciate these pets. And you're like, yeah. Let's see. I need a sell junk button. Hang on. Back. There we go. Okay. So, we got new stuff on the gem store. We got new stuff at the Black Line chest. We got new patch notes. Alright. Let me take a drink of water here. Alright, chap. We need to go over the new patch notes for all the people that like to listen to my videos at work and they help me pay for groceries. So, let's get into it here. Let's say first, just so I don't forget, we got the black lines. Where's the, let me grab this and put it right here, just to remind me. And arm floats stuff. For your swimming skill issue? Dude, what? I can swim? What do you mean swimming skill issues? Yo, I was a Boy Scout, buddy. I got the merit badge. What do you mean my swimming skill issues? Are you trying to like make new muck lore? Yo, I'll take the snorkel. I appreciate it. I got no issues swimming. I'll get tired, but I can do it. The one with the snorkel also gives you arm floaties. Oh gosh. Where did it go? There it is. Why? What? It's not working. The preview is not working. Okay. The arm floaties go under the shoulders. That's so weird. Alright. Thank you. The arm floaties are a coat. Gotcha. Alright. Let's see. Where were we? Okay. Let's mute the background music. That's going to be distracting. This is going to take a few minutes. Alright. Here we go. Alright, hello Guild Wars 2 gamers. Today is Tuesday, June 24th, and a long-awaited patch has just been released. This patch is twofold. There were some patch notes that we talked about some time ago. I don't recall exactly which video, with a whole bunch of changes coming out. Lots of them. Lots of changes. It was only like the necromancers can use staff as a better like healing tool, and they're going to be like heal-a-lack vindicator, like a whole bunch of stuff. There is a link in these patch notes to those old notes. Everything else that we talk about is changes they've added or removed since those previous preview notes were released. Words are hard. Okay, so all that said, note your add-ons might break. My arc DPS is still up, so the most breakable add-on is still there. I don't know if any of yours will. General, fixed an issue that prevented the AFK timer from kicking players in some cases. Fixed an issue that caused the public API to return incorrect inventory information. Open world changes. All right, we got a lot of issues getting fixed here. Okay, General. Fixed an issue that caused the Janthier Cartographer achievement to be awarded incorrectly. Fixed an issue that allowed possessed ward workers to be killed after the collect evidence of Cryptus infiltration event had already been completed. Adjusted the location of a greater arcane chest in Skywatch Archipelago to prevent issues with the environment. Fixed an issue that prevented players from interacting with the crumbling wall in Plains of Ashford. Fixed an issue that caused an Asura gate name in the Black Citadel to be displayed incorrectly. Fixed an issue that caused a greater arcane chest to spawn sideways in the Great Debate Hall in Amanitas. Fixed an issue that caused Ponponi Shiny Teeth to display the wrong icon during Help Gork Thundermaker Defeat Ponponi event. Fixed an issue preventing Rendak the Crazed from displaying an icon during Defeat Rendak the Crazed. Fixed an issue that prevented the objective from being displayed correctly during Help Rupek and Porgar Deliver Water to the Village event. Fixed an issue that prevented Titan spawn from spawning correctly during subsequent cycles of Help Kyung complete her ritual by consulting spirits, finding lost Mersat mementos, and driving away Titan spawn event. Ah, that one's in Bavanisos. I have done that, and yeah, I never saw any Titan spawn. I've maybe done that one 3 times. And yeah, I always was just consulting spirits and finding lost mementos, so maybe these were just not showing up. Fixed an issue that prevented markers from being displayed correctly during Help Kyung complete the ritual by consulting spirits, blah, 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 same event. Fixed an issue that prevented Titan spawn from dynamically scaling during the same event. Fixed an issue that caused several creatures in Janthier Wild's content to be invisible at the beginning of their unlurk and lurk animations. Fixed an issue that prevented the boss camera from applying correctly during Defeat Lextalion the Merciless event. I believe the boss camera is when it zooms out a bit and you get a larger view of the playing field that is used frequently in various raid bosses and meta events. Fixed an issue that caused the broadcast region for Assault the South Lung event to be too small. Fixed an issue that could cause players to become stuck inside the terrain during the Find the Ward members inside the Mirror Network and return their findings to Alia event. Dude, I hate this. I did this event once, and I'm never doing it again unless they drastically speed up the animation of the mirrors. This is just a personal thing. It's not broken or bugged, except for this thing that they just fixed. It's just moving through the mirrors is so slow. It takes so long. Fixed an issue that prevented players from simultaneously interacting with Mersat mirrors in Mistburn Barrens and Bavanisos. Fixed an animation issue that could occur if the player was transformed while interacting with mirrors. Fixed an issue that caused players in certain Bavanisos events to inadvertently scale another event. I'm just imagining, like, Yo Mama's so fat, she's at the North Lung and the South Lung's getting tougher. Like, we could have a whole line of insults built around that. No, change it back. Damn it, where was I? I lost my spot. Fixed an issue that prevented destroy Jade Constructs, Titan Spawn, and other Mersat defenses event from properly displaying a marker at the start. Yo, hold on, I'm still thinking of Yo Mama jokes. I'm remembering this stuck with me. I heard this insult 15 years ago in World of Warcraft, and it burned into my mind. And it was someone in map chat said, Yo Mama's so fat, she made a new character and got the World Explorer achievement. There, all right, I had to tell you that. Just do what you will with that. All right, fixed an issue that prevented the Siege Turtle unlurking effect from playing correctly during Destroy the Membrane using siege damage from your turtle or sky scale by pulling down debris with your Warclaw chain events. Fixed an issue that prevented the Necrofungal Macrophage from properly leashing. The Necrofungal Macrophage will no longer attempt to attack players outside of melee range with melee skills. Fixed an issue that caused voice lines announcing Titan Leukocyte appearances to play too frequently during the final stages of Bavanisos meta event. Fixed an issue that caused optional dialogue to overlap when speaking with Livia, Ludo, and Binkt after the Bavanisos meta event succeeded. I did witness this once. I stuck around to see the lore, and they were all like, blah, 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 just talking over each other. Fixed an issue that allowed the Ghostly Sacrifice to be killed after the Defend the Captive Code and Sacrifice event succeeded. Added messaging to clarify that players can use the Hatchery Envoy NPCs to mount their Siege Turtle in combat during the Bavanisos meta event. Fixed an issue that prevented a wall in the Flame Temple tombs in Diessa Plateau from opening properly. Fixed an issue with the Help Kennel Master War Snout track the Separatist Renowned Heart in the Iron Marches that could cause players to become stuck inside cage objects. Added a timed telegraph to Lextalion's Merciless Ghastly Rampage Shadow Step during the Defeat Lextalion the Merciless event. I'm guessing that is when he teleports away and starts like punching the ground and it makes like the black shockwave that comes out from him, judging by the name. Players should no longer be targeted twice in a row by Lextalion the Merciless Ghastly Rampage skill. Lextal the Merciless will now shadow step back to the arena if drawn too far away. Haven't witnessed that one yet. Fixed an issue that prevented players from getting ejected from respawning debris objects during the Bavanisos meta event. Fixed an issue that could cause Counselor Ludo to interrupt other dialogue following successful Bavanisos meta event. Updated the messaging for Assault the Titanic Heart event during Bavanisos meta event to more accurately represent the size of the event. Fixed an issue that caused the Destroy the Membrane using siege damage from your turtle or sky scale, or by pulling down debris with your Warclaw chain events in the Bavanisos meta to occasionally display wrong markers. Fixed an issue that caused the wrong UI messaging to appear when destroying an organ in the Bavanisos meta. Fixed an issue that could cause 2 Scepters of Ore to appear if the player left the area while defending Livia during the Bavanisos meta event. That's the big twist, chat. She gave one away. She kept one more. She has a spare. Gee, Billy, your mom lets you have 2 Scepters of Ore? Players should now be able to reach the major code and cache located in the old Hut Mint site in Janthier Century. Fixed an issue that caused rotting fish heads to maintain their collision after being destroyed during Destroy the Pollutants and Cover Yourself in Rot and Get Examined by the Ward event. I gotta say, this event really makes me wonder if the Ward are actually trained in science or if they're just winging it. Like, we could just go get a sample in a bottle, but they want us to roll around in it, and they wanted to just, like, peel it off of us and then sample it. Fixed an issue that caused fish dressing stations to incorrectly display an error during quickly prepare the fish before they rot and went low on shore. I have seen this happen many times. It's very confusing. I'm like, wait, did I do it out of order? No, you didn't. Fixed health point scaling for Titan, Hemolymph, and Titanic macrophages guarding vascular nodules. In the Bavanisos meta event, these enemies should now be tougher. Item changes. Updated text on items used to unlock gathering nodes for the home instance to clarify that they also unlock the node in homesteads. Updated the text notifications for the World Boss Portal device to differentiate between alerts for of Myths and Monsters, Convergence Outer Neos, and Convergence Mount Balrior. Fixed an issue that could cause the Wizard's Portal Tome to send players to the Wizard's Tower instead of the Mist Vault. Yes. So the Portal Tome just came out recently, and that was a bug that I witnessed as well. Rewards. Fixed an issue preventing the Bog Queen combat tonic animations from playing properly. Now you can all correctly turn into Bog Queens. The hidden reward Visage of the Mist is now visible in the hero panel. Fixed an issue that prevented the Potted Bamboo homestead decoration from being selected or placed. Fixed an issue that prevented the Portrait of Caudicus homestead decoration from appearing in the decoration palette after being crafted. Wait, okay, who wants a Portrait of Caudicus in their home? Come on. Fixed an issue that prevented the purchase of sweet treated pine planks or neutralized Titan alloy from a renowned heart vendor from progressing the legendary weapon Club Journey Gear Gifts. Me? No, you don't, Bananas. Fixed an issue that prevented many Journey kits from animating properly when following the player. Fixed an issue that caused the Endless Warclaw Kitten tonic to be priced incorrectly. Fixed an issue that caused several weapons to be rotated incorrectly in the weapon display case homestead decoration. Fixed an issue that prevented the Star of Gratitude from progressing the Gobblers and Exchanges Collector's Achievement when players who completed for the Children event visited Lion's Arch. I had a lot of people ask me about that after I made the Gobbler guide. Also, just to get ahead of some of it, if you were working on the Gobbler of Gobblers thing and you have a karmic converter and it didn't go into the Gobbler of Gobblers, I know. I have nothing to add to that. It is odd. It seems like it's supposed to go there, but it didn't. A lot of people have sent me that question. I don't know why it's like that. Convergences. Fixed issues that allowed Wisps to be damaged by several of Decima's skills. Okay, that's kind of funny. So you turn into a Wisp when you die. So that means she killed you, and then by God, she's going to kill you again. Decima's Seismic Crash and Earthrend skills no longer have instant kill messaging. Convergence version of Ura should now be considered a Titan spawn for the use of items and effects such as Sigil of Demon Slaying. Flaming boulders on Mount Balrior should no longer damage Wisps. Titans will now animate properly when going underground. Fractals. A new challenge mode for the Kinfall Fractal is now available. Lonely Tower fixed an issue that allowed 2 players to interact with Astral Purifiers simultaneously. Lonely Tower fixed an issue that prevented eligibility for the Fissure Walker achievement from being reapplied after a party wipe. Eligibility is now reapplied when a player enters the boss arena. Personal story. Fixed several issues related to markers inside an instance for Living World Season 3, Episode 1, Out of the Shadows. Decima's a sore winner too, apparently. Yeah, she's a sore... The open world version of Decima in Janthir Century is a sore loser. Like, you beat her, and it says you won, and you loot the chest, and then she socks you one more time. It happened to me today. Profession skills. Below are additions and changes to the balance preview notes we previously shared. The changes below supersede the preview notes. And there's a link here. If you did not see the preview notes, I'm so sorry, chat. Flashback. Come on, dark mode. There we go. These are the notes from last time. These are way too long to go over a second time. I'm not going to do that, but there's a lot of stuff in here. So if you want to just go to the class that you care about, and you can take a look at that. All right. General updated changes. Relic of the Blightbringer. Increase the cooldown from 8 seconds to 12. Reduce poison duration from 7 to 5. Reduce cripple and weakness duration from 4 to 3 in PvP only. Elementalist. Pyromancer's Puissance. This trait no longer removes might when triggering Flame Expulsion. Reduce the might stacks from 2 to 1 and increase might duration from 6 to 10 in World v World and in PvP. Reduced Flame Expulsion's max power coefficient from 2.0 to 1.5 in PvP. Transmute Frost, reduce the base healing from 1k to 778 and the healing scaling from 0.8 to 0.6 in World v World and PvP. Elemental Shielding, reduce the protection duration from 2.5 seconds to 2 seconds in PvP only. Engineer, big old bomb. This skill has been moved into the bomb kit, replacing Glue Bomb. This skill now knocks down enemies instead of launching them, and combos blast finishers twice. Increase the radius from 300 to 360. Increase power coefficient from 2.4 to 3.0 in PvE only. Mesmer changes. Once again, these are on top of stuff that were in the old notes. Mesmer changes. Axes of Symmetry increase the player's confusion stacks from 3 to 5 in PvE only. Mirage, imaginary axes, increase the player torment duration from 4 to 6 in PvE only. Chaos Vortex, increase boon radius from 360 excuse me, to 480. Increase the player condition duration from 8 seconds to 10 in PvE only. Taking a drink. All right, Necromancer. Soul Shards. Reduce the lifesteal damage from 600 to 450 and the lifesteal healing from 570 to 470 in PvP only. Hungering Maelstrom. Reduce the lifesteal damage from 1700 to 1200 and reduce the first hit healing from 1700 to 1200 in PvP only. Ranger, regenerate Fern from the Fernhound. Okay, so there's multiple skills called regenerate. The Juvenile Fernhound, the F2 ability is when you have it howl and it does a heal around it. They're reducing the healing of that in PvP from 2600 to 1900. Soul Beast Griffin Stance. Evasion bonuses now have an internal cooldown of 1 second. Bumble, Janthier Sentry B, reduce the knockdown duration from 3 to 2 in PvP. Okay, honestly, deserved. A 3-second knockdown in PvP feels like an eternity. So yeah, they're reducing that from 3 to 2. So this is when you would merge with the B, and then you would slam into somebody with it. Stinging Sorrow, which is the muda skill. Reduce the power coefficient per hit from 0.3 to 0.2. Primal Cry, increase cooldown from 20 to 25 seconds. All three of these are aimed at people merging with the bee and then messing people up with it. Rip. Untamed. Ravager's Abandon fixed an issue that prevented this skill from hitting downed enemies. Is that the Axe Ambush? Hang on. I'm trying to remember. Can I see them here? I don't think I... hang on a sec. Unleash Power. Thundering Volley. No, that's Thundering Volley. What's Ravager's Abandon? Wait. Damn it, I just saw it. Rampant. Multi. Unleash. Where's Abandon? Wave of Corruption in front of you, doing spawning spores. Oh, that's the Spear Ambush. That's the land Spear Ambush. Okay. All right. Yeah. I've been playing Ranger for one day. Thief. Daredevil. Impaling Lotus. Projectiles from this skill can now only hit their original target in all game modes. Increased bleeding stacks from 1 to 2, and reduce the bleeding duration from 15 seconds to 8 seconds in PvE only. Lotus Training. Increase the effect duration from 4 to 6 seconds in PvE. Bounding Dodger. Increased effect duration from 4 to 6 seconds in PvE. Unhindered Combatant. This trait no longer inflicts exhaustion when removing Cripple. Reduce the exhaustion duration when removing Chill from 3 seconds to 2 seconds in World v World and PvP. Increase the effect duration from 4 seconds to 6 in PvE. Alright. Spectre, Well of Bounty, increased stability stacks from 1 to 2. And increased regen duration from 8 seconds to 12 in PvE only. Yo, that is only one sentence? That is very nice for supports. Like, going from 1 stack of stab to 2 is very noticeable. Because if you have 1 stack of stab, and you throw that out on the group, and then something unexpected happens and eats that stack, and then the thing that you did the stability for hits you and just knocks people away like bowling pins, that's very good. Warrior. Brave Stride. This trait no longer has an internal cooldown and grants adrenaline in addition to previous effects. This trait now grants Fury instead of stability in World v World and PvP. So 1 less source of stab in there. Might Makes Right. Increase the healing from 98 to 115 in World v World PvP. Excuse me. Stalwart Strength. Increase the damage from 10% to 12.5% in PvE only. Berserker changes. Wild Throw fixed an issue that caused the skill to prevent certain traits from being triggered by other skills. And Rupturing Smash increased the power coefficient from 1.5 to 2.75 in PvE. Gem Store changes. The free Vibrant Wings backpack and glider combo no longer requires an expansion purchase to claim. Now, I can't see that in the store anymore, but there was a video I did a little while back where I pointed out that there was a set of free like rainbow wings in the store. So I'm guessing those are still there, and if you weren't able to claim them before, you might be able to now. Okay, so let's see. Hang on a sec. Thistle says, went into the game and answered my question. Muck update not in the notes. Since Big Ol' Bomb has moved to main skills, the replacement in the tool belt is Smoke Bomb. After 1 second, it pulses blindness and vuln. Yeah, I believe that was in the other notes that were mentioned. Oh, hang on a sec. Let me go here. So Control F, Smoke. Yeah, that's in the notes. Smoke Bomb. This skill is now instant. Move to the tool belt slot and is replaced by Magnet Bomb. And actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me amend my statement. They mentioned that Smoke Bomb is added to the tool belt. I guess they didn't give a good description of what it does. So you said it replaced Big Ol' Bomb on the belt, and it pulses blindness and vuln 3 times. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, so yeah, and a reminder that these notes are built on top of these, which we're not reading a second time today because of just the sheer amount of time that would take. But if you care about one class in particular, use the link, go there and see what they got. Okay, so going back to the game for a second here. Some other things that we have noticed. Black Lion chests, if you go in them, they have got Maguma stuff here. This is not a new weapon set, but it is here, which I think there was something else there before. The Stellar Dragon Wings Backpack and Glider combo has been shifted over to the left slightly, and they've added Valkyrie's Champion Helm Skin. This, I believe, is brand new. It's got these, like, blue energy feathers on the wings on the helmet. Very Guardian-esque. Maybe a tad of Fighting Heresy. I think it looks pretty neat. I definitely think that there's some people that can make this work. So that is in the chest if you desire it. Additionally, on the store, there is some new stuff. I'm already laughing. All right, the Sunshine, let's see, swimming accessories. All right, so first off, this takes up your headgear with the goggles and the snorkel, and your chest gives you water wings. So you can see them below my shoulders right now, but it gives you water wings. Bald? Yes, he's aqua dynamic. It's for cutting through the water. Also, there's the Sunshine Beach Pack, which comes with a flower behind your ear, little bracelets, shirt, swim trunks, and Asura-friendly sandals.
50 months of support, let's go 60, here we go.
Thank you, Bjorn. I will meet you at 60. And then we've also got the fresh swimsuit pack. And these kind of stack in different ways. So like if you could do like that and that. So now we got like the sandals, the trunks, the water wings, and the snorkel. Yes, I absolutely showing up to raid night like this. Problem, fellas? Boss is over there. Catch you, Myron. Yeah, lots of different swimsuit, different apparels that cover different parts of the body. So get you. This one I think is head and sorry, I think this one's chest and legs, and yeah, that one's chest and legs. And then this one is feet, legs, chest, gloves, not shoulders, and hat. And then this one is chest, hat. Next 3 X-Packs funded. There you go. All right. So that is the stuff that we've noticed. Blackline chest new stuff, store new stuff, and patch notes with all the new class changes. That is the things that we have noticed in the patch today. Did the gold to Jib's price rise? I'm going to be honest. I never monitored that. I don't know. I can show you what it is right now, but that is not something I track. So that's it right now. I have no idea if that's up or down. There you go. There's some data. Do what you want. All right. That's it for this one. And if you have any questions, problems, thoughts, concerns, or notice anything that I missed, please put it in the comment section to spread the word. I'll pin it if it's really juicy, and I'll fight you down there. Marker. All right, that's the end of the video. Cool. All right. Now, we just got to throw that video on the YouTubes and make a terrible thumbnail for all the people that for some reason like to hear me whisper patch notes in their ear. Maybe while they drive home in traffic. I don't know. It went up 20 gold. They haven't added new Blackline weapon set in a while. What about weapon skins? There was not new weapon skins. I did check this guy, and there's no... we've been on Imperial Everbloom for quite some time now. What is... Okay, there we go. All right. Sweet. All right, give me just a second. Let me start uploading this. Videos... And throw that over here. Okay, uploading that to YouTube. 3 new spears. New spears? Where are the new spears? Reaper and Abyss? That's not 3. 2 new spears. Okay. This is changing rapidly. Let's see. Reaper. Spear? I feel like that's been in the game. Like, this looks familiar. Are you sure? Also, it's very tilted. Abyss. Are you sure these are new, or are they just new to you? Okay. I mean, I showed them. They are new. Okay. Muck and Trunk, Swim Wings, and Snorkel is the thumbnail for the video. I feel the Snorkel not being added as an aquatic headgear is a missed opportunity. You could still use it, because you can, when you go underwater, you can choose to display Rebreather or your hat, and you could just display the hat and have it be the Snorkel. It's on this news post. Oh, no one linked me this one. No one linked me this one. I didn't see this one. Oh well. Summer vacation package. Yep, there they are. Okay. Yeah, alright, you're right. Dude, this guy just looks like he is seeing some script. Let's see. You can use Helm underwater? Yeah. Yeah, you can. Let me see if I can remember how to do it. Hang on. Let's see, I need some water. Let me go Lion's Arch for a sec. Because I have my wizard hat displaying underwater. Hey, new player, can I ask you, is Shield Herald viable for face tanky survivable PvE content? It can help. The shield. So the main thing is your shield basically changes your 4 and your 5 button. So it's not like just holding the shield makes you tankier at all times. It will give you a small amount of toughness, but it's really not noticeable. But mostly it's the shield offers you the 4 button and the 5 button. So the question is, do those buttons save you? And if so, then yeah. Yeah, they can contribute to survival. All right, so we go down here. And all right, so see, yeah, there's my wizard hat. Where was that setting at? Is it? Okay, so you check your rebreather right here, and then if you uncheck it, it just shows your hat when you're underwater. That's it. So if you have rebreather unchecked and you had a snorkel up here, it would display the snorkel when you're underwater. Well, it would display the snorkel everywhere, but you could do that if you wanted to have it everywhere. That is an option. Okay. Let's see. Thank you. Sure. Sure. All right, let's see. Did the upload finish? Yes, it did. Okay. Let's... Hang on a sec. I am opening GIMP! The poor man's Photoshop. New Necro Healer time? I gotta make a thumbnail for the news video first. Gotta pay the bills. Let's see. Thumbnail templates. If you don't have your breather checked, you can drown. Actually, no. They're very friendly with breath bars in Guild Wars. Very friendly with it. I think the 5 gives your heal when hit, when the glint heal, which can be used to cheese Sam CC's face. It's funny because every mark has a heal, but the Chillblains has 2 healing listings. Is it actually healing twice, or is that just a glitch? Okay, let's see. Uncheck that. And... let's go to that. And uncheck that. And Guild Wars thing. Okay, what's our thumbnail for this news? Could just have the patch notes with my guy with the snorkel peeking up from the bottom. Asura in bikini. We've also got all these pictures here to use. I think my guy looked better in the snorkel than any of those. Alright, hang on. Wait, where are the patch notes? There they are. I had them over here still. Ah! Alright. It's better if your guy does it? Yeah. Let's see. Alright. Go back to game. Swap back to this color. It's a little brighter. Let's see. Wardrobe. Oh, it has like a necklace too. Here we go. All right. Let's see. Hide chip for a second. God, the light's reflecting off his polished dome. It's not like I need a solid color behind him that I can cut out. Go underwater? I could. Again, I need something behind him that I can just cut out. Nah, better on land. It's better on land. Let me see. Hang on. Wait, what do you... No, stop. What are you doing? Like rift hunting. Go to Homestead at night. Mistlock, maybe. Homestead Cave. The water's not a solid color. That would not be good for cutting it out. All right, hang on. Let's try the suggestion from chat. See if it's any good. What build benefited the most? I'm most interested in the fact that some new builds, like there are some completely new builds, like altogether. Let's see. Someone said Homestead at night. Never thought Muck would become a swimwear model. You never know what you're going to get when you tune in. No. No, that's not good. Let's see, time of day, daytime. Homestead under Aurora Skydrop. I have not purchased the Aurora Skydrop. Alright. Hang on. I can work with that. Okay, let's see what we can do with that. So, let's, put him here. Maybe like that? Have him just, like, creeping? What was the point of the floaties? I don't know. I just I like the idea of this. I like the idea of this. It's so you don't drown. There you go. That was the point of the floaties. It's so I don't drown. All right, let's see. This is why I wanted solid colors. It makes this a lot easier. I can just do that and then delete the background. Okay. That's pretty good. Put a wizard hat on the snorkel. Wait, what? Oh, Wizard Dennis on the snorkel? Okay, hang on a sec. Let's do this. Boop. And then just get these things. Too big. Boop. Easy thumbnail. All right. So what did you say? Put a Wizard Dennis on the snorkel. That's freaking weird. Fine. Oh god, I have a layer for him. I gotta find him though. Oh man, there he is. All right. Let's see. Duplicate layer. Then we can butcher this one. There we go. There you go. It's done. Easy. All right. Butter on head. No, that's stupid. I'm vetoing that. I'll put butter in the corner, though. Butter PNG. That's too much butter. That's Paula Deen. Paula Deen helping me with this thumbnail. You know what? I'll do it. There you go. Oh, wait. I gotta move it up a layer. There we go. Dude, he's looking like a pancake. Let's see. Let's mess with this. Patch day. And okay, and oh, actually, one second. Select my color, do that. All right, and do that. And I gotta give it a drop shadow. Grow 15 pixels. Bah. And that. Okay. A little slightly more eye-catching now. Could do that. Butter's SPF 50. I don't actually think it is. Like, if you're in the Sahara and you have a stick of butter, would rubbing it on your body give you any extended protection from the sun? I feel like it would just make you smell delicious. Would it help her fry you? Yeah, I don't know. You would smell delicious as you die, yeah. Could you make the patch notes tilted like the Star Wars intro? I could, but I want this right here to be readable at the top. You get a good burn? Yeah. Make things worse but delicious. Let's see. Should we do a border on the dude? Let me see what this looks like. Alright, hang on. There's a little bit of a mess to clean up here. Hold on. Eraser. There's a few spots that are weird. Eh. Okay. Oh, over here too. All right. I think that's acceptable. All right. Export. Thumbnails. Let's see. Guild Wars 2 news 6/24/25. Let's see. Kramer learns it's cheaper to use butter to shave than to buy shaving foam. Uses butter to tan for the building. Overcooks himself. So Heal Scourge is different. So Heal Scourge can now use staff while healing, which will be a whole new thing. Oh gosh, we gotta fix you back. Ugh. All right, let's see. Gotta get his fashion back to what it has been for so long. There we go. The rightful order has been restored. Where's staff? There we go. Well, the rightful order plus this tail thing. No, not the floaties. They're gone! They're gone. Never to see the light of day again. Okay. Let's see. Where is... Alright, YouTube work. Okay. So here's this. And reuse all details. News. There we go. And June 24th. Let's see. All right, what were the highlights of this one? Swimsuits. Class balancing. I think the class balancing is the main thing. Let's see. Class balancing, bug fixes, and swimsuits. June 24th. June 24th. Let's see. Related links. And prepare. Thumbnails. And this folder needs a second to load. BVP changes. Yeah, the Valkyrie helm, true. Still no BLTC skin update. Did they forget about them or something? I don't know. Well, there is some new skins on the BLTC. Are you talking about something else? All right. Hold on. Is this in the Guild Wars 2 section of YouTube? Where's the thing? There. Yeah. All right. It is. Burp, 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 burp. The ticket skins are called? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. There's still, like, Imperial Everbloom or something like that? Yes. Is that it? Yeah, that's the one. Okay, so now I just need to see if the end cards are working. Alright, hello Guild Wars 2 gamers. Today is Tuesday. Fixed an issue that prevented the... My mic sounds weird to me. Boss camera mirrors is so... This event is now visible in the hero panel. I don't know, I feel like it's picking up like a little bit of background crackle. Might have to talk to Noxxi about that. Noxxi's like a wizard when it comes to audio stuff. You sound the same. Well, yeah. To you it does, because it's on your end either way. Alright. That's just your voice. My voice just crackles in the background? Just at all times? Alright. Okay. Let's see. Well, it's certainly not meant to. It's certainly not meant to. Alright. What do we got? Okay, so the changes that they did that affected Ranger. What were they? The Fernhound thing? No, that's not it. Where's the other notes? Where's the old? There's the previous notes. The pre-notes notes. Throw torch, bonfire, quick draw. Oh yeah, quick draw. What exactly? They said they added quickness to that. Hold on. Where's a build that uses quick draw? None of my builds currently using it. Okay, just for a second here. Where is it? Right there. Okay, so when you activate quick draw, it also gives you 4¼ seconds of quickness. Wow. That's a lot. What about in PvP? Let me go to the PvP lobby and look at it. You're turning into your final form, butter on the head, and crackle noises. You're becoming popcorn. What? More I tried videos of future Staffiel, Necro, Aheel, Mirage. Wait, what? Isn't it Aheel Vindicator is the new one? Aheel Mirage existed forever. What's the big thing for Mirage? That's not... Wow, 3¼ seconds in PvP. Surprised. All weapons can give a light now. Okay. Not Aheel Mirage, Condi Mirage is the thing. Oh, okay. So quick draw is 3¼ seconds PvP. Alright. Light on your feet now triggers any ranger skill that evades. Alright. Unstoppable Union reward, gain protection when entering or leaving beast mode. What? That's so bad. That's so lame. Hi. Thank you. And thank you for not trying to hide it. Let's see. Hold on a second. God, this thing... Dude, look how they massacred my boy. Chat, this trait used to be a stun break and... Hold on. I'm taking a picture here. Just a minute. Alright, and it did all of that. Prot, Vigor, remove Chill, remove Immobilize, remove Cripple. Okay? Then they took away the stun break. And now, they took away all of that other stuff, and now it's just 2 seconds of prot. Look how they massacred my boy. Oh my god, chat. I think she used like a pound of jelly. This is my PB&J. Like, the bread doesn't close all the way. Look how much peanut butter is that. Oh my god, dude. I'm gonna clog my arteries. Alright. There's like 1-to-1 ratio with the bread. Look at the mold. It's not mold, it's a green... Oh, wait, hold on. What? It's a bread. It's a green grain. There's so much jelly on this. The void toast. Yeah, the green screen was hiding it. And love, yeah. I am the kind of person that, like, I paid money for the bread. I will eat the end pieces. Because it makes that money stretch out a little bit longer, right? So, I don't love the end pieces, but I'm going to eat them rather than throw them out. I will eat them rather than throw them away. Alright. Let's see. Restorative strikes. Alright. We should leave PvP for this one. What's wrong with end pieces? I don't know. Just most people that I meet seem to think of them as less tasty. Okay. Restorative strikes. So, we got this new thing here. Where is it? Right here. This is new. Okay. Here's the thing. This right here. Ferocious Symbiosis gives you and your pet give each other damage and movement speed buffs when hitting enemies. Stacks 5 times. If you and your pet are beating on something, you both permanently have a 25% damage increase. Alright? Biorhythm now has to compete with that. When you or your pet unleash, gain Biorhythm every interval for a duration. Okay. Interval is 1 second, duration is 4 seconds. So you get 4 of them. When you reach the threshold, which is at 5, the next time you or your pet unleash, gain both bonuses from Vow of the Untamed. For 10 seconds. Okay. That sounds terrible in my head. Let me go see it. Oh. Let me go to the training room for a minute. Nothing is wrong with end pieces. Everything is wrong with American bread. What? I mean, hold on. What? When you say, okay, we have bakeries, right? Are you just complaining about like just a regular loaf of bread right now, or like all bread? This is just, you know, a standard loaf of bread, but like I've got like a loaf of sourdough in the fridge too, because I like, you know, that from time to time. American bread is like dessert. Wait, what? Isn't it like Aussies that put like, what is it called? It's like fairy bread or something. They put like freaking just pure sugar on it. I feel like there's different nationalities that do that worse than me. I don't even know that there's any sugar in those at all. Other than, well, like the jelly. The jelly has sugar. American bread is not considered bread in Europe. American healthcare is not considered healthcare in Europe either. Vegemite. Hold on. No, what is it called? I'm just going to search fairy bread. I think it's called fairy bread. Here we go. Fairy bread is a simple, beloved treat primarily in Australia and New Zealand, typically made by spreading butter or margarine onto slices of bread while covering them with sprinkles. Yeah. Yeah, when I think sugar bread, I think of this crap. We don't have sugar in our white bread. Anyway. Where were we? Alright, I need something to... Let's see. Spawn a golem. Average. Spawn. That's fine.
Hi there. Use the console to begin combat.
Add boons. All. That's fine. Whatever. Okay. Biorhythm. When you or your pet unleash, gain biorhythm every interval for a duration. When you gain the biorhythm stack threshold, the next time you or your pet unleash, gain both bonuses. Alright. Oh, they're wearing off. Dude, what? Threshold's 5. Okay. Hold on. So it seems like you have to unleash way more often than you normally would. Okay, this is really weird to play. Okay, so look, we just every 5 seconds you unleash and you get Vow of the Untamed. Which Vow of the Untamed gives 25% less incoming damage and 25% more outgoing damage. Now, this is competing with Ferocious Symbiosis, which is just 25% outgoing damage and 25% movement speed, but it doesn't stack with swiftness. Biorhythm, however, to use this, you have to unleash way more often than you normally do. So this changes the rotation. Because, like, if you unleash, typically what you do is you unleash, you do an ambush, and then you're going to wait until the next time that the ambush is up, so it's 10 seconds. So typically every 10 seconds you do 2 ambushes. You know, you wait 10 seconds, ambush with weapon 1, weapon swap, ambush with weapon 2, wait 10 seconds. These, though, these wear off after like 6 seconds. These can't make it until the next unleash. So you have to make your unleashes earlier, which I think throws off the ambushes. So unless I'm missing something here, I can't see a use for this anywhere. Unless you're just unleashing way more often, you know, like every 5 seconds. But the rotation for that would be really weird. Daru, thank you. Jen says, Muck, in 2020, the Irish Supreme Court ruled that Subway bread could not be legally classified as bread for tax purposes due to high sugar content. Most U.S. bread is similar. Okay, alright. I will concede defeat. It sounds like you guys know more about baking than I do. But I am banned from entering my kitchen, so you know what? I'll take it. I'll accept that. Let's see, they said that in the patch vid, they wanted us to be more 50-50 pet self to keep up the buff. Again though, if it screws up your ability to do unleashing for ambushes, because that's the thing, is if it wasn't for the ambushes, this would be fine. But because ambushing exists, this is going to screw with that. But if you didn't care about ambushes, this would be totally fine to play this playstyle. So, I don't know. I'll have to see what this, you know, let the Snowcrow nerds chew on it for a bit and see what they think. I'm curious what they come up with. Has anyone tried that to change this to Necro Staff? No, I haven't quite gotten there yet. See if there's anything else. Okay. Alright. Put this back to normal. What do you think about the recent updates to the game? Well, an update just hit 1 hour ago, so we're trying this stuff out right now. Is the community positive about it? Again, it's been out for an hour. I don't know yet. In America, there's sugar ingredient, all kinds of stuff that you wouldn't expect as reasons. My, just a similar topic of conversation, corn. My late grandfather, when he was in his, like, 60s or 70s, he suddenly developed an allergy to corn. I was shocked to learn how much stuff corn is in, because of primarily cooking things in corn syrup, or corn oils. And there was just so much stuff that suddenly would kill Grandpa. And I was like, what? Like, it was shocking to find out how much stuff had, like, come into contact with corn at some point in time that you wouldn't think, you know, as a non-baker. So that was a whole adventure. Okay. Spooky Muck. Let's grab him. Alright, let's see. Did this finish processing? Yes, it is. Yes, it did. Alright. Just tuned back into corn. I used to be allergic to corn in all forms. Used to be? You got better? Ah, the jelly. Mmm. Alright. So. Necromancer. Let's see what we got. Mark of Blood can be triggered by allies. Alright, so whatever this thing is going to be the build. Life Transfer, reduce cast time of the skill, increase life force, Wheel of Doom, Flesh Room, Lich, save no suffering. Transfusion has been reworked. Oh, what did they do to you? Let me see. Marks can be triggered by allies to heal them and provide them with additional benefits. Create chill blains at your location when you use your 4th Shroud skill. Mark of Blood, it gives vigor. 3 heals and grants protection. Why is there no protection tooltip there? Removes 4 conditions. 5 is stability. 5 seconds, 3 stacks. That's huge. Alright, so... let's see. I don't know if this build is still right. This is a build I've got saved for Support Scourge. Muck, are you gonna check the new bomb kit on NG? Not currently, maybe at some point. Let's see, before I was using... what were my weapons last time I played this? Dagger, Torch, Warhorn. So the question is, what would we swap for Staff? The main purpose of the Torch was the Might stacks. Do we need Torch 5 to keep Might up as a Necro? Warhorn was there for Swiftness and a CC. Muck Arc is randomly crashing people. Joke's on you, my Arc was already multiple versions out of date. And it hasn't broken, and I am not touching it. Let's see. Bifrost. This is all Selly. Why am I in full Selly? Fine, whatever. Wait, those two? Yeah. Alright. Let's see. And put some kind of spooky skin on this. There we go. Okay. Dobie! Thank you for the Prime. Appreciate you. Loved you in Harry Potter. Just a little swiftness, basically. Alright. Now the question is, does this build stay the same with these new changes? What we got here? So we've got... it has been a while since I played my Necro chat. So Ritual of Life is a buff to Well of Blood and Lesser Well of Blood. Life from Death heals allies in the area when you exit Shroud. Increase healing to other allies by 10%. Vampiric Presence. I don't know. Teams are healing. Vampiric Presence. Transfusion. Alright, so if I don't have Transfusion, does Mark of Blood trigger on allies? Yes. And they did say they were thinking about that. They were saying that Mark of Blood triggering on allies just seems so good that they might just make that baseline. So it allows you to throw regen on people whether there's an ally in range or not. You want trait 2 and Soul Reaping. Gain Vitality, your incoming healing is increased. Why? I mean, Vitality's nice for everybody, but why specifically would I want this as a healer? I meant the first one. Why? Now we can't precast Marks as DPS Necrom. I guess. In the first line. You are not good at explaining things. Soul Marks become unblockable and generate life force. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. The first line? Yeah, you in first column. The first thingy. the whatchamacallit. The thingamajigger. Okay. Alright, so... And this does prot. This is 5 seconds of prot. This removes conditions in an area. Hi, Noxxi. And this does stab. Okay. Alright. Let me go to the prep room. Hang on. Or the test room, I mean. Hang on. Let me go put this plate down. I don't have room to set this down in here. Okay. Did you go over patch notes already? Yes. It is, yeah, there should are... Did I make the video live? Yeah, there's a video live on my YouTube channel already on it.
It's 2 grams of total sugars. That's like hardly anything.
In, like, the whole loaf? Or is that per serving?
Per serving.
How much is a serving?
1 slice.
So each one slice of bread has 2 grams of sugar. Okay. Chad, is that a lot? My wife went and checked the label. It says that each slice of bread has 2 grams of sugar. That's the bread that I was eating that everybody was yelling at me about. That's a can of soda? Okay, hold on. I drank a can of Coke in here last night. And my cup holder still has this. I have a can of soda here. Where's sugars? A can of soda has 39 grams of sugar. Oh, dude, that's incomparable. What do you mean? That's like 20 slices of bread. That's incomparable. That means you got 4 grams you just had. Yeah. Soda has tons. Yeah, soda says total sugars... Okay, a Coke says total sugars 39 grams. And a slice of bread has 2. So it would take 20 slices of bread to equal a can of soda. That's incomparable. My fancy-ass sourdough has 1.1 grams per slice. Has Mug done a new Fractal CM? No, not yet. A loaf of... So, yeah, a whole loaf of bread has as much sugar as a can of soda. And look, we all know soda is packed with sugar. Like, we know soda's not healthy. We're not really talking about that. But, yeah. Saying that a slice of bread is like a can of soda, that's, like, not even. What's the serving size of the can? Dude, if the serving size of a can of soda is not 1 can, I will be pissed. Okay, it's a can. It's a can. Dude, that would be so diabolical of the Coca-Cola company to say, here's the nutrition facts. Also, the serving size is 1/3 of a can. I would be hostile. I would be attack on sight. Now we're measuring Coke by loaves of bread. What have you guys done to me? Bread has other Croson suffixes and are technically not sugar, but your body treats it the same. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Okay. Spawn a golem. Average, spawn. Okay. So, I gotta remember how to play this, chat. It's been a bit. So, let's see. Shanes, let's do that. Desiccate, let's see, that's for stab. Desiccate was mainly for fury, I believe. Shades give might, shades give alacrity. Desiccate is fury. How did I give people prot before? Torch 5 is just might. Gain life force every interval, not drawing your power in your interest round. Regen is from the mark. American food is like poison with sugar. You're not wrong. There's a ton of sugar in a lot of American foods. Right now, though, we're talking about just bread. And we just ended up on this weird discussion. And now I'm honestly curious. F5 is prot? Ah, yes. Thank you. Hold on. Let me see what Google says. How many grams of sugar in one slice of European bread? Let me see what comes up. A slice of European bread typically contains between 0 and 4 grams of sugar, depending on the specific type and recipe. You guys are no better! Oh my god, your noses are so high in the air right now, it's no better! This is like right the freaking same. Some Euro breads like sourdough. I have sourdough in the fridge. Euro sourdough may have little to no added sugar. Other varieties like pull-apart bread have 4 grams of sugar per slice. Oh my gosh. Okay. I sent a link to German bread. Oh my god. Okay, alright. Let's see. I don't really need the golem for this. Alright. Da 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 da. Da da da. Alright, yeah, might is not staying up right now. It's not great. Prot is fine. Let's see. I need to use Desiccate more. I keep forgetting that. Oh, I also don't have, I'm in Celestial gear right now, so I do not have full concentration. Or, like, I have what used to be enough concentration. I'm not sure if it still is. I will say, if you're reliant on the Staff 4 for removing condies or Staff 5 for stability, that's going to be rough if you're in the other weapon set and you need to stab your party. Which is a fun sentence to say, for sure. Could you do double staff necro? What would be the point? They would share cooldowns. Unless you're using a weird sigil that would benefit you from swapping from staff to staff. Yeah, might is slipping bad. Like, it's 25 stacks sometimes, and other times it's fallen down a lot. So I can't, I do feel like, now, granted guys, I'm making mistakes, so feel free to call me out on stuff I'm missing. I feel like I can't stay staff. Like, I have to be swapping back and forth from staff to something else. Now, Torch 5 does might. Warhorn 5 does swiftness. So I think I currently don't have swiftness. So I'm doing a lot of might stacks, but not full uptime. We're doing prot, we're doing regen, we're doing alacrity, we're doing fury. I don't have swiftness because I don't have warhorn. What about Relic of Phoebe? Let's see. I was using Relic of the Monk. Which is 16 seconds of swiftness every 25 seconds. All right, let me see. Let's try Giver and see what happens. Does 8 do swiftness? That's stability. You're not... It does do swiftness, yes, but you're not going to want to hit this off cooldown. This is stability for the group. You hit that when they need stability. Let's do this. All right, this is as high as your concentration can go. All right, so that's 89. So now Relic of Phoebe is 19 seconds of swiftness every 25 seconds. So with alacrity, and I don't even really like this, because this means that you're burning the Well of Blood, and you never have it for when you need it. You're just burning it for swiftness. But with alacrity, that would be enough for swiftness. Okay. Hey, Mug, would you say that after the balance, your Untamed YouTube video is still viable because I got hooked on Untamed? Yeah. Yeah, I was playing it earlier. Swap Torch for Horn, then. Take Blood as power. You get a lot of big duration with F1. What do you mean big duration? If I swap... Okay, so Blood is power. So if I take Blood as power... I have to get rid of either... So this stability is not reliable if you have to weapon swap constantly. Because it will not always be there. You could be in the wrong weapon when you need to stability your party. Stability over here is more reliable because it's always accessible, unless you're a Revenant. Desiccate, you need to keep Fury on the party. Trail of Anguish is stability on demand. Signet of Undeath is for emergencies. You could take Blood as power here, but then that's less stuff for emergencies. Maybe double staff is the play. What would be the benefit there? If you have two of the same weapon, like if you have staff, and you press 2 and weapon swap, the other 2 is on cooldown. They share cooldown. So the only time you would do that is if you have a really good sigil to take advantage of. So if I search swaps, like if you've got like on weapon swap, do this awesome thing. Sigil procs and have access to stab, but what sigil? What sigil would help us here? But the problem here is that keeping up all the essential boons right now. What about Scourge Elite instead of Golem? Scourge Elite, 19 seconds of might every 60 seconds. No, terrible uptime. Might as well just keep the Golem for the big CC. Alright, let me see. I'm gonna give myself quickness from the console, just to simulate being in a group with someone giving me quickness.
Use the console to begin combat testing. If you have any
Utility,
questions, then
quick.
speak to me.
Okay. Alright, oh, I'm not keeping swiftness up. I need to do that. The might is certainly doing better now than it was. The quickness and the increased boon duration helped from swapping over to Giver's Gear from Celestial. Alright, I'm staying at 25 or near 25 might consistently now. And I'm swapping to Torch and using Torch 5 every single time I can. Like, just every time I'm able to do so, I am. Let's see. The end result of this. What is it compared to how it was before? What did I have before? I had Warhorn here. So, Warhorn gave swiftness. We're getting that from Phoebe now, which means wasting Will of Blood constantly. We lost a CC on Warhorn 4. However, Staff 5 has a very nice CC, so that's okay. And we do have an additional source of stability that is often, but not, well, if we're weapon swapping on cooldown, it's available to us 50% of the time, unless we know a thing is coming and we sit in it for a few extra seconds. We have an additional Condi Cleanse. This is not really a big deal, because Scourge has the most Condi Cleanse in the game almost. They can Condi Cleanse every 4.5 seconds with their F2. So this is helpful, maybe for fights with tons of Condis, like, I don't know, Slothosaur or something. But, you know, that's a thing. Chillblains now has a fat heal on it. It's right here, all staff skills grant 1k healing. Chillblains also does more healing and grants prot. So Chillblains is a 3k heal on a 12-second cooldown. So that's a sizable burst heals. That's nice. That will be a bit noticeable. Mark of Blood having a 1k heal on it every time you use it, and it will always trigger. There was a few fights in the game where marks didn't trigger that was annoying, such as the strike missions where you're fighting a construct and not a creature. You know, like those big ice guys that are like buried in the ground up to their torso. Those guys would sometimes have trouble triggering marks because they were not moving around. And that should no longer be an issue with these now. Rajani said, drop Torch, swap to Midnight King Relic. You balance your Fury uptime and increase your might without having to use Holy Blood on cooldown. What? We're using Well of Blood on cooldown for swiftness. Hang on. What does Midnight King do? Grant a might and fury to nearby allies. No, huh? So wait, hold on. Drop Torch. Okay, so you're saying drop Torch, get Warhorn for swiftness. Get rid of Phoebe, get Midnight King. And Fury uptime. Well, Fury is completely covered by Desiccate. This alone covers Fury. But then the issue is might. Okay, what is Relic of Phoebe again? Sorry, Relic of the Midnight King. Grant Might and Fury to nearby allies when you disable an enemy. 3 might every 17 seconds. The Fury is useless. We're already completely capped on Fury. The Might would be nice. However, I don't really want to waste my CC. We would have Warhorn 4, Warhorn 4, Staff 5, and the Golem. And this would mean using some of that on cooldown to keep Might up. You can then flex slot Desiccate. Only if I'm burning a lot of CC. F4. I didn't think about F4. 12-second cooldown. What if we were only doing F4? That would be 9 seconds of Fury every 12 seconds. Less with a lack. And 3 stacks of Might. Muck, I need you to explain to me why it's so hot outside. We're closer to the sun in the summer. So this is 8 stacks. Spamming this off cooldown is a permanent 8 stacks of Might. Using F4 off cooldown with this would be 3 stacks of Might. Your F4 you should be using regularly. Staff 5 is Fear 2. Yeah, but Staff 5 is now a source of stability and Fear, so you would want to save this for when you need to do a big CC or when you need to do a big stability. You're not going to want to just use this every time it's up. You also have Golem, Mark 5, and Warhorn. I'm aware. I just listed those off like a minute ago. Again, though, you want to keep some CC for when you need it, not just be like using it constantly in a rotation. We're closer to the sun in the summer. Yep. Yeah, we actually, just during the summer, we're actually the closest planet to the sun because we move around it like an oval, but we're further away in the winter. We're the third planet from the sun in the winter. Yes. Why Portal is T for the Snake Aegis? Snake Aegis. True. Without Serpent Siphon. Can't do agents. I don't think this is gonna work. I'll try it though. Let's see. Rock. What was here? Let's see. That is concentration. So this would be transference. And this was Giver. Okay. And that's Relic of the Midnight King. And then put like Serpent Siphon there. Okay. Altruism gives 8 stacks of Might for 10 seconds based on Heal Skill and Fury. Wait, what? Oh, 8 stacks of Might and Fury. That might be better. Hold on. So Warhorn for swiftness. That might be better. Let's try that. So burn the heal skill for altruism. And okay. Alright, let's see here. So da-dun. Oh, I'm not using my heal skill off cooldown. I gotta build that habit again. What are we testing? If I can keep boons up with this. Right now I'm eyeing that 20 stacks of might. Okay, yeah, it's sometimes dropping down to 10 stacks. Alright, yeah, this is significantly worse without Desiccate. We're occasionally plummeting down to like 10 stacks from 25. Or I'm playing it poorly. Also, that is always possible. Just play Reaper. Oh yeah, I love when when I ask for a healer and a Reaper joins my group. Let's see here. Rodgort. Giver. And Transference. Okay, Desiccate. And then this goes back to Phoebe because we lost Swiftness. Okay. Interesting. So really the main thing here is, what did we get from this? There's a lot more healing output from the staff, right? Every skill heals 1,000. Chillblains heals 3,000. Regen we were already keeping. Hold on, where do we get vigor from besides the 2? So we keep vigor up by spamming 2. Do we have vigor anywhere else on Heal Scourge, chat? Staff 2 and dodge. But you have to dodge in combat and you have to like land the mark on an enemy. Right? So like if I do this. Okay, so it went off as soon as I landed. Okay. So just dodge onto an ally and to vigor them. You just got bagged. Aren't you full of vigor now? Okay. So vigor. Vigor's covered. Regen's covered. Prod is covered. You have additional healing output. You have an additional stability source. You have an additional Condi Cleanse, if it's needed, although Scourge has ample Condi Cleanse. But the main thing that you lose, which this is where the juggling comes into play, is you lose either Torch, which is a lot of your might generation, or you lose Warhorn, which was all your swiftness. If you are losing Warhorn, you can replace the swiftness from Relic of Phoebe, which means spamming heal off cooldown. Which, I don't love it, but it is viable. If you give up the Torch 5, you need to get the might from somewhere else. Or just have someone else in the party provide it. And currently for utilities, I'm using Signet of Undeath as a Life Force Battery and an emergency res. Trail of Anguish as stability on demand, but you could change this for Serpent Siphon for Aegis if you wanted. And Desiccate is to help keep Might up and to keep the Fury up. All the Fury comes from Desiccate currently. Noxxi, you main Necro. Is this build the best support build that you can see, or am I doing anything wrong? I haven't mained Necro for a couple years. Wouldn't everyone have a little might on their own? Almost always, yes. Almost always there's another DPS in the group that provides a couple of stacks and it tops you off. So if you're going to choose either give up swiftness or give up a few stacks of might, I would give up a few stacks of might in most cases and keep the swiftness. Change Trail for Serpent Siphon. You could. If you do that, hang on a sec. So if you do this, then the only stability source is Staff 5, and you just got to be in Staff when you need it. Muck, do you want to talk about the Necro stuff after I'm done with DS? If it's going to be within the next 20 minutes, sure. I got about 20 minutes left. Has he already tried Vindicator changes? I have not. No, haven't gotten there yet. I will say, in terms of pure quality of life, I do like this the mark thing. Chat, here's a fun little story for you guys. My first character in Guild Wars 2 was a Sylvari Necro. Because I was like, whoa, plant people? That's cool. I've never played a game with plant people. And I made a plant person, and I made him a Necro. So he was an edgelord. And I ran around with my first favorite weapon was a staff and minions. Because when I would hit an enemy with the staff, it would splash regen on the minions and would keep them going. So it was just a slow bulldozer, you know? It would kill things and constantly heal your dudes. And I loved it. I loved leveling with the staff as a Necro in, you know, the core game, the base game. So this is really cool. I like this. You know, this is a return to the past for me, but at the same time, they've made the QOL better. I like that. I do like it. All right, let's see. You played as Traherne? Dude, I remember the first time Traherne was on a mission with me and he summoned 3 flesh golems. I was like, what, you're a Necro? And you get 3? What? I was too dumb to care about synergies? Yeah. Let's see, it has insane healing but never taken because no quickness or a lack. A lack on Vindicator is pretty huge. Insane healing. Well, that's like, yeah, any warrior can do insane healing with staff. But the reason that Berserker is a support is because it also has quickness. Bladesworn is a support because it also has alacrity. Spellbreaker could totally be a support warrior if it provided one of the boons that people consider to be essential. Let's see. On different stick. Different stick. Bone Skinner stuff. Ice Reaver. 7 Reapers. Very edgy. Let's see. I'll be on your voice. I don't know what you checked so far. Hang on. Hi, Noxxi.
Hello.
Hello. All right.
How do you like the stuff so far?
I do like it. I was just telling them, my very first character in Guild Wars 2 was actually a Sylvari Necro, and I ran around with staff because the regen would keep the minions topped off and let me just go without ever really taking a break. And so I loved it. Like, the staff on the marks system, like, although it's not always been powerful, it's one of my favorite little systems in the game. I do really enjoy it. So the fact that they're making it more viable, I like that. Now, I have not mained my Necro in a couple years, so I don't know if I am still... Here, I'm going to pull it up on screen. I don't know if this is still, like, a good quality support Scourge build, but I've got this right now, and I've got staff, and it seems like the big decision here is if you give up Warhorn for the staff, you have to use Relic of Phoebe to get swiftness. And if you give up the torch for staff, you got to get that might somewhere else. Like, that to me feels like the big choice. What do you think about that?
Honestly, I don't worry about might because every time you do barrier, basically spam Elec because your alacrity comes from the barrier. Your barrier generation does might stacks and they give 2 for quite a gobble. You can actually stack like 15 might very easily by just spamming barriers.
Yeah,
so I usually don't really worry about that.
I was beating on the dummy and spamming skills, and I have enough life force to hit every single, like, F1 through F5 every time they light up. And that's a lot without the torch, but with Desiccate, was able, or sorry, with Torch and Desiccate, I was able to keep between 20 and 25 at all times. Like, it's small, like, it would occasionally slip down to 20, but if I was in a real group, other people would top that off. But if I had the Warhorn out, we tried with a Relic of Altruism, and it didn't make up for how much we lost from not having the Torch. And I was sometimes dipping down to 10. And with both of those experiments, I was hitting every F1 through F5 button every time they lit up.
I personally just use the Warhorn with... well, I used to use it with Warhorn exclusively for offhand and Dagger or Pistol, depending if I needed range or not. But now I just defaulted to Pistol because it's just favorable for me, but that's like just my own, liking to it. With the Warhorn and Staff, but I'm really liking Staff mostly because it really gives me like Heal Chrono vibes with the rifle, and I really like that I have a range that I can pinpoint on people instead of me needing to run up to them to heal them with let's say Transfusion, because the only pinpoint heal I had before was effectively only the Developed Blood, which is a very strong heal, and I don't want to waste it on just nothingness.
Yeah, if you're... Yeah. So Chillblains is, what, 3k base heal every 12 seconds, which is really strong. And then all your Mars do like a 1k heal.
Also does Chillblains.
Wait, what?
So you basically can do it twice. Yeah. So you have double protection and double of that heal. Except the fact that Chillblains effect is on you. But it's really good in my opinion.
I totally missed that. I didn't even realize F4 was proccing Chillblains.
Yeah, I kind of missed that too, and I was reading it like, does it do anything else? And I check it like, oh, it does Chillblains. Hold on. What is Chillblains? Because I haven't used Steph in like ages. And I check it like, oh, it's the third one, which is the ton of healing and protection. That's nice. So you can always use it on yourself, and you can waste, or so-called waste it, the Steph one on others.
I would say that probably makes it feel like if you are burning Well of Blood to keep swiftness up with Relic of Phoebe, the staff changes make up for the loss of heal on demand with Well of Blood, because you have so much heal on demand with staff. I would hazard a guess.
Yeah. It's also, I counted, it's almost around 50% more healing compared to what we had with just Transfusion. So it's very much a buff to healing. We do technically more healing this way. If I count in the F4 as well, doing Chillblains on you or around you. It's really nice. I was very worried that this step would not do enough healing.
Yeah, I'll probably run some strikes or something with it tonight, because I got like 10 more minutes, but I would guess that this is more than enough to
Yeah, I'm doing that.
content.
Actually, I swear, Bone Skinner was easier to heal this way. Way easier. Felt way easier. Even though people were dying right and left and not moving out of the the puddle, I still managed during those big OE moments where if people take too much damage or they stand in front of the Bone Skinner when it rushes away, and they usually get down.
Yeah,
from that,
people
but,
always stay. It's like he turns and looks at them, and I'm like, that guy's about to get run up. Yeah, there he goes.
Yeah, I just love it because
Every
almost
time.
the entire squad takes the damage. I'm like, oh my god, you could just avoid taking 80% damage by just slightly sidestepping.
Yeah. Let's talk utilities for a second. So currently I'm using Desiccate for boons, Signet of Undeath is a battery and an emergency button to save someone. And then the last one, right now I'm using either Serpent Siphon for Aegis or Trail of Anguish for stability. What do you think?
Yeah, they're the same. Like basically for me, the Signet of Undeath and Serpent Siphon is basically permanent. I have never taken them off of my bar since the past year or more probably at this point. Or since, Hair Scourge changes. Second one, I very rarely use Desiccate when there is like nothing else to use, but if I needed stability before, I just use the Trail of Anguish because it's also swiftness. It's kind of, especially now after the last little buff or change to Trail of Anguish being a small AoE for
Now,
the initial.
real quick, the
cast is very
Desiccate
nice.
is your only source of fury. Are you getting that somewhere else, or are you just trusting someone else to do that?
No, I'm just trusting the group usually because I always see Fury.
Good luck, slackers!
I will be genuinely honest. I told you before, I am heavily against the thing that a heal support should worry about Fury and Might.
Oh,
I
yeah.
literally do not care. Like the fact that my barrier gives might is just like you are lucky, but I would not care about it normally.
He's like,
That-
you
that's
take
not
what
my
scraps
problem.
I give you, you deadbeats.
Like I do permanently 7, technically 7, I think. Yeah, vigor is permanent now. Protection is permanent. Regen is permanent. Swiftness is permanent. Alacrity, that's 5. What else? I'm not counting things. I'm.
Yeah,
a
you
bit
can
lost
keep
in things.
swiftness, vigor, prot, alacrity, regen. Might is close
There's a lot of
sometimes,
might
but
still.
mostly might. And then you
25,
could, depending on the tools you bring, you've got stability or Aegis on demand.
Yeah.
Oh, and Fury,
So
but
I-
if you bring Desiccate Fury.
Yeah. But I usually just say that like I have to worry about all the other boons. The rest of the group just have to worry about might and fury. They will have it. Like some skill will always generate fury for the party, or the squad, or sub squad, whatever it's called.
That cracks me up. And I'm like, what are you doing for Fury? You're like, good
Nothing.
luck.
That's just their thing. It's good luck. If you want more crit, just generate it.
If you want Fury, you should have brought your own.
What am I, a dispenser or what?
Oh, did you bring
Sounds
enough
like a
Fury
you
to share
issue
with the
more
class?
Like your problem to me when I hear that every time. Oh, where is the fury? It sounds like a you.
Like
issue.
I agree with you. I do. I've said before that like in terms of what is the phrase for it? Role compression, where we have we as a community in Guild Wars have compressed it to the point where there's like 10 boons on the healer plus healing plus cleansing, and then
Yes.
one boon
letting
on one
people
other
die.
guy, and then 3 DPS, right? I think it would be totally fine if the game was such that like defensive boons like protection and regen were on the healer, and offensive boons like might and fury come from DPS, just to kind of equalize it out. That would be like quite a paradigm shift, like you'd have to get everybody used to that. But I think it's hilarious that you go into a group and you're like, oh, I've already made this decision for you, and I hope you guys read the Noxxi patch notes.
Look, I keep people alive. I am God. I decide who lives and who dies, especially since I can 9-man barrier too. Even if the other healer dies beside me, I can still heal 10 people alone. So nobody tell me that like, oh, where is my fury? Nowhere. Buy it. Get it. Your problem.
Buy it. Yeah, you should have brought fury food.
Spend gems. Buy it. I don't care where you get it. Just get it.
Oh my
somewhere
gosh,
else.
actual
Don't-
pay to
don't-
win.
don't
You
get
can
it
spend
from me.
gems on fury.
Yeah, booms. By the way, did you see that the transfusion UI tip is for the stability on step 5 is completely mismatching? Because baseline is 5 seconds on the transfusion UI, but it's actually 4 seconds. So on 100% boon duration, it is 8. Because I was like checking transfusion, I'm like, oh, 10 seconds stability, that's great.
Yeah,
And I checked my
yeah,
staff,
I
and it's
see.
like, wait, that's 8
It
seconds.
says 9.5 on the trait, and it says 7.5 on the staff for me with my stats.
Yeah, I sent a book.
I mean, that's still more than enough, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, obviously. To be fair, you have 8-second gap between that someone else has to cover with like stability if you have nothing else, or worst case, Cheer of Anguish. But apart from that, yeah, it's not bad. I mean, if it would be 10 seconds, that would be quite insane. So I don't think it's 10 or will be 10 seconds. It's probably just the transfusion UI being buggy.
Yeah, I'm so used to skills that give like, a couple of seconds of stability that if I've got a skill that gives 5 seconds, I'm good. Like
Yeah.
five or more, like if it's 5 or if it's 10 feels the same because like I'll hit it a few seconds before I need it. It gets really crazy with like Ranger Mace 4 is 1 second of stab. And I've actually gotten to the point where, because it's not really for that, but it's just kind of like, yeah, it does that too. So if I'm like fighting world boss like Decima and she's about to do like her knockdown and I'm like, oh, my 3 and my 4 are up, I'll use the 4 first, it'll just counter the knockdown and then do the 3. So I'm at the point where I can use that sometimes, but it's like an instant animation as long as I'm not in the middle of something else.
Well, I guess you can get used to it, and because then I guess that it's literally just the animation time where you have stability.
Yeah.
You can just use it. I assume. That's a bit of weird, but maybe they just wanted to avoid giving it evade to not be interrupted or something. I don't know.
Not sure, because the it does. It's a nice ability. The Ranger Mace 4. It does like thorns. It looks like a burst of thorns comes out of you. It hits everything around you. It does 1 second of stab, and it cures you of a couple of conditions. So it's just a nice all-around button.
That's nice.
It's kind of like Shift Signet. If it's like Shift Signet's little brother, because it doesn't do nearly as much, but it does a handful of nice stuff. All right, well, cool. Seems like I wasn't too far off track, because I was just like, oh man, I'm so rusty on this. I'll just consult with the master. I appreciate your input.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, I'm going to wrap it up here, and I'll talk to you later.
Yep. Have a fun. Goodbye. What?
What? What? Dude, the Noxxi, oh, my groups don't get Fury unless they brought it. Like, what? That's fantastic. I need to reach that level of not caring about their DPS. Buy it. Alright, chat, I gotta wrap it up. I'm about out of time. Probably tonight I'll do some strikes and stuff on the new Necro and try it out. And then I'll do like a little I tried video on that later on. But this is pretty cool. I will say, just my first look, just in like a quality of life thing, this is really nice. The ability to trigger this off allies is very, very nice. Because like if you were support, you were casting Mark of Blood, not for damage, you were doing it for regen. And you had to find some sap to hit the mark to get it to proc, and now you don't have to do that. Now the sap can be your DPS. You just hit that sap. That's way better. But yeah, this is good. This is good. So with that, chat, I gotta wrap it up here. Thank you guys for joining me this morning. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. A few plugs on my way out of here. If you're new to my channel, my name is Muck. I do a lot of Guild Wars 2 and a lot of other stuff as well. Hit the follow button if you're on Twitch. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. These are links to my 2 YouTube channels. If you're not already subbed to see all the videos I make, I would love for you to sub to those. And lastly, thank you to our patrons. They keep us in business. I can't afford Noxxi without these, so if you would like to become a supporter, there's a link to that in the chat. You guys have a great rest of your day. If you are on the Twitch side of things, I will raid another channel that is doing stuff with the new patch. Oh, you know what? Noxxi's live right now. No wonder Noxxi's in here kissing up to me. Yeah, I'll raid Noxxi. Hopefully, Asen's not there. Hang on a sec. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, dude, I love it. There's a lot of people streaming right now. That's awesome. All right, I'll see you guys over there. You guys have a good day. I'll be back in about 5 hours for the Guild Wars Tuesday giveaway stream later tonight. Yeah.